All right, welcome in, everyone. It is time for hockey in Smashville once again. This is Chad Minton, your host, with Rich Howe. How's everybody doing tonight? How you doing, Rich?
Doing good. Excited for our watch-along. This is going to be awesome.
For sure. Yeah, this is our first edition of a watch-along, a live watch-along on the Hockey Podcast Network for Nashville Predators and the Anaheim Ducks. The Predators are back home in Smashville tonight, and we are doing a live watch-along of the game on the Hockey Podcast Network on our YouTube channel as well. The Hockey Podcast Network does a watch-along almost every night that there are hockey games.
Yes.
So you need to be going and following. You need to go ahead and follow HockeyPodNet to check out all the watch-alongs they do. It's a lot of fun. I did a watch-along with the founder of the Hockey Podcast Network, Isha. I did a watch-along with him. He's a big Vancouver Canucks fan, and when the Preds played the Canucks a few weeks ago, I joined him on a watch-along, and it was so much fun. So we were like, why don't we do this for the Catfish on Ice podcast? And so we've been figuring out which game. This is the perfect game. This is our normal recording night for an episode. And so we're switching things up tonight. We are doing a live watch-along. And everyone, if you're watching on Twitter or YouTube, we need you. We need you in the comments.
Yes.
This is how the watch-alongs really have fun here, is you got to get in on the conversation here. We want to hear all your thoughts during the game. We will talk about whatever you want to talk about during the game. And guess what? This is a huge game tonight. The Preds are finally – this is an old rival that the Preds had. Maybe one of the biggest rivals the Preds had for the longest time. And for all the diehard Preds fans who have been with his team through all the years and through the last couple of decades, you know what I'm talking about. The Ducks were one of the most hated rivals throughout the early years. Mainly when the Preds first started making the playoffs, the first team they ever beat in the playoffs was the Anaheim Ducks, and they had a lot of players who fans could not stand, including Corey Perry, including Ryan Kessler. Ryan Getzlaf is still on the team.
Still playing.
So,
yep.
Yes, and he's having a really good season. So this is a really big game. And so for all the listeners, you need to get in on the discussion tonight. We will be watching all the comments as the game goes on. You mean so much to the podcast, and we need you tonight. So get in on it. We are going to preview this matchup as we are about 10 or 15 minutes away from puck drop between the Preds and the Ducks. The first time these two teams have met since January 5th, 2020. Rich, wow. Does that date have any significance to you? Let me ask you. Come on now.
2020. Let's see.
January 5th, 2020.
Was that like one of the last? I don't remember.
Light bulb.
I got some ideas, but I don't remember. I got some ideas, but I don't remember.
It was Peter Laviolette's last game behind the bench for the Preds before he got fired. That was the final nail in his tenure for the Preds.
That's right. I do remember that because Anaheim was like that year's Arizona.
Yes, that's exactly what I was about to say, actually.
Yeah.
Yes, they were bad. They were really bad. And the Preds were already playing really bad. They were just kind of like listlessly going along, kind of asleep behind the wheel type of stuff.
Yep.
And that game was just – in the locker room was very, not together. There were a lot of different rumblings that the team was not together. And that loss against the Ducks – it was a 5-4 shootout loss, but was still a really, really disappointing and ugly loss. Was the last, and at the time, I'll tell you right now, I could not believe that they were that Peter Laviolette was fired at that juncture in the season. I did not see it coming at all.
No,
because the Preds were still in the playoff race. It's not like they were a last place team. I thought for sure that at the very worst he would be kept till the offseason, and then they would make the coaching change. But they only not fired him but they immediately hired John Hines almost right after, like the next day, basically.
The next day,
and then they play the Boston Bruins the next game and lose, but then the next game, I'm rejogging everyone's memory here, the next game after that, they play the Chicago Blackhawks. Pecorine gets the goaltender goal, and you go on from there. So we're kind of catching up on everyone's memory here. Hard to believe that's been almost 2 years ago. Just it's crazy.
Insane.
So this is a really big game tonight, Rich. And let me tell you, the Ducks are probably the hottest team in the NHL right now. You could throw the Edmonton Oilers in there. There's some other teams you can throw in there, but the Ducks are by far the most surprising team of the NHL. They were not expected to be any type of a threat this year, and they are playing really good. Rich, kind of tell me what your first initial thoughts on this matchup is. We're about 11 minutes away from puck drop right now.
Like you said, this is a massive game. After what happened last game and then losing to Toronto the game before, they have got to get it done tonight. I know I watched all of the I sat through the last game, and it just I couldn't even believe what I was watching. It was so shocking. I couldn't even get my thoughts together to even say what they needed to do or anything. It was an embarrassment. But if it wouldn't have been for Matt Duchene, it would have been even worse. So.
And unfortunately, those things happen throughout an 82-game season. The real test of a good team is how do you turn the page and not let it happen again. That's kind of what the theme of this game is for me tonight, is have the Predators turn the page from a really, really, really bad night at the office on Saturday night. And we'll get more into what happened and what went wrong in that game during the downtime of tonight's watch-along throughout the game. But let's kind of break down the preview of this matchup, the nuts and bolts of this matchup with the Ducks. We haven't seen the Ducks in a while. The Ducks are a very different team since the last time the Predators saw the Ducks almost 2 years ago. Very different team. Yes, they have Ryan Getzlaf. We know all about him. He has got 18 assists on the season. Only one goal, but he is distributing the puck, and he is being a leader. And there were people going into the season, I remember very clearly saying, Getzlaf doesn't have much in the tank. He's not going to do much for them this season. He was on the if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure he was available and teams were thinking about signing him, and he ended up staying with the Ducks. There were even some rumblings that the Preds might look at him, and all the Predators fans were like, please, no, please do not bring that man in here. And so he ended up staying with the Ducks. He's got 18 assists. That is impressive. I don't care how much you don't like the player. 18 assists is pretty impressive at his age. Yeah. The fact that he is still that big a part of the offense. So we obviously have to watch out for Ryan Getzlaf tonight.
Yeah, they just showed it on TV. He's he's in second place for assists in all of the NHL. So
we've got one of our amazing listeners, Lindsay, chiming in on the chat. We can always count on her. Hi, Chad and Rich. Also, I'm so sorry, Rich. What is she so sorry for, Rich? What is she apologizing to you for? I can't imagine what that could be.
Her fantasy team destroyed mine over the weekend. It wasn't even a contest. I was like within 50 points at one point, but then nothing was working, and her team just destroyed mine. So,
well,
it happens.
She's got some good things going for her. Not only is her fantasy hockey team doing really well, but she is a diehard Flames fan. And you want to talk about another really good team? I wouldn't call them as big of a surprise as the Ducks, because people still thought the Flames would be a decent team this year, but they are looking really good. The Flames are this year. They have a lot of really exciting players. I think they've got 7 shutouts already on the season, which is like up there in NHL history, is like crazy, never happens. So, Lindsay, you got a lot of good things going for you. We need you to bring some of that good energy to the Preds, though.
Please.
Steal some of that good vibes that you're getting from the Flames and share some of it with the Predators, because we need it tonight. We need it. Let's break down some of these ranks here for the team, the preview of the matchup here, kind of where these two teams rank among some major statistical categories. And you don't have to dig very deep to know why the Ducks are where they're at right now, where they're just ripping through the league after a really slow start to their season. They're just cooking. They're firing on all cylinders right now. So let's start with the power play here. The Preds actually had the second-ranked power play in the NHL.
And that's unbelievable. I saw that today, and I was like, "How
unbelievable is an understatement, Rich."
I mean, that's just...
I knew they were top 10. I knew they were maybe even top 5. I did not realize until today that they were number 2 in the NHL in power play percentage. The only team they're trailing is the Edmonton Oilers, who are playing like a video game right now. And the Edmonton Oilers are almost a 40% clip on the power play, which is just, even in this small of a sample size through like 18, 19 games, whatever it is, that's still through that many games. That is just mind boggling. But the Preds, they're up there at 29% success rate right now on the power play, which is just gives you a big reason why the Preds are outperforming preseason expectations.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the Ducks are at 4th place right now in the league at power play. So we're going up against an equally solid and dangerous power play tonight in the Ducks. The Ducks are top 10 in 4 major statistical categories this season. They are top 10 in power play, penalty kill, goals for per game, and goals against per game.
What a change from last year.
Whereas the Preds, they are 23rd on the penalty kill. That penalty kill is starting to rear its ugly head again like it has for the last couple seasons. And so they have really struggled in that area once again, only at 23rd in the league. Goals per game, the Predators are at 20th in the league, averaging 2.7 goals per game. We all knew that's not a big surprise there. We all knew that the Preds were going to struggle to score goals this season. And that's kind of where that's not a surprise at all. Whereas the Ducks are 6th in the league at 3.39 goals per game. So they're nearly scoring 3.5 goals per game, which is really impressive for a team like this, who doesn't have a ton of superstars on their team. They're just digging deep and figuring it out somehow. Yeah. And here is a really, really sore spot for the Preds right now. And they've really got to start figuring out a way to start testing the other team's goaltender, which tonight is John Gibson, the veteran who is he's a very quality veteran. He's had his troubles. He's struggled at times, but the Preds are going to have to make him work for it tonight. They're going to have to test him. They can't come into this game and do what I'm about to tell you. The Preds are 31st in the NHL in shots per game.
Oh, my gosh. That is amazing.
31st. Now, the Ducks are only 19th, so they're not – but my point is they're not testing the other goaltender at all like they should be.
Yeah.
It's going to go badly for them tonight if they don't fix that area tonight and they don't get some more pressure on John Gibson, who is 9-3-2 on this season, and he started off really bad. John Gibson, he started off in October. He went a 4-game stretch where he gave up 4 goals in each of those 4 games. Since then, and since we turned the calendar to November, John Gibson has won 7. He's won 7 of his last 8 starts and is really looking good right now. So the Preds have their work cut out for them once again with the other team's goaltender. But we have UC Saros, so we can't just gloss over the fact that we also have UC Saros.
Yeah, Lindsay just asked on YouTube, does Saros need a rest? Well, he did sort of get a rest against Montreal. It was just
Rich,
horrible.
As we get ready for this game, we get closer to the game. Rich, kind of like let us know what happened there. What was the problem with that game? Why did it get so far out of hand? I think the score was 5-0 Montreal at one point. Duchesne did have the hat trick in the third period, which kind of is like putting lipstick on a pig because the game was already so ugly. But just kind of tell us how much of the blame does UC Saros deserve in that really, really horrible night for the team?
Well, they scored their first goal pretty quick, and it was because of a defensive breakdown. So at that point, you're kind of like, all right, they got one, cool, move along. Then they scored another one pretty quick. I don't remember exactly the time or whatever. And then you're kind of like, okay, if you don't, something's happening here. These guys are up for this game. You need to, you knew they were going to be up for it. And then after the third one, I was like, Saros is, by that time, he's probably rattled. So a lot of them weren't his fault. Some of them were his fault. But just poor puck management and just defensive breakdowns. They had quite a few breakaways. Nashville just couldn't pass the puck for anything, and they just kept turning it over. So they really looked. I think they overlooked Montreal quite a bit. So
well, there's no excuse for that in this league to overlook anybody. So if that's what happened, then the Preds, they need to address that quickly, because there's no excuse for overlooking anybody in this league. And that's why when they played the Coyotes recently, even though it wasn't the prettiest of games, I still came out of that game feeling really good because, hey, they didn't overlook them. They took care of business. And I'm not saying Montreal is as bad as Arizona, but they're still not a good team. And the fact that they lost in that fashion, and it was just that ugly, and they needed a Matt Duchene hat trick in the third period to even make it look respectable was just, very, very disappointing. And that's why this game tonight against the Ducks is just a really big tone setter. And I've been saying this all day. If we're going to start taking the Predators seriously as a playoff contender, as a realistic playoff contender, and if we want people to think that this team is different and they've changed and John Hines is the right answer, and that all these different things are going to come together and suddenly the Predators are going to be like as good as they used to be, you got to win games like this. You got to turn the page quickly after losing an ugly game like that.
Yeah. Today in the press conference, somebody asked John Hines, he said, are you is it a relief to be back home? And he was like, no, not really, because we've got a tough opponent in Anaheim coming in. So, we've got a lot of work to do. So
it is nice to have the Preds back at home, though. They've only had one home game in like the last 3 weeks, and that was against the Coyotes. And so they're back. They got the Ducks at home. This is a big, big game. This is like old times here. This is just, you see Ryan Getzlaf skating on the ice. Yep. No love lost there, of course.
No.
So, but they've got a lot of really good young players that we'll kind of cover throughout the game that are really stepping up for them. Troy Terry is one of them who leads their team in points with 22 points. They've got a lot of really young, relatively unknown players who are stepping up for them.
Absolutely. There's Getzlaf right there.
Yep. So we are. I think I'm a little bit ahead of you, Rich, on the stream. Yeah. So I might spoil some stuff for you tonight.
That's fine. It's all good.
All right, everyone, get it. We got to get more viewers as the stream goes. Hopefully, we will get more viewers. We encourage everyone, as you're watching the game with us, or if you're listening along, get in on the conversation. If you got a question, if you got a topic you want us to cover, let us know. Let me and Rich know. We will cover it. That's what really makes these watch-alongs so much fun, is when the listeners get in on the action. Let's treat this like we're all hanging out in a living room somewhere with a big screen in front of us, and we're all hanging out watching the game together. Yes. That's what we're doing tonight for episode 82 of Catfish on Ice, brought to you by DraftKings. We are part of the Hockey Podcast Network, and we appreciate it. And also, hit the subscribe button if you're watching on our YouTube channel right now. We really appreciate that. All right, so we're a little under a minute into the game here, and it's kind of a little bit of back and forth action going on right now. I like the pace of it. Mm-hmm. The Preds have not come out sluggish at all so far. It's very early in the game. We got to minimize the mistakes here. We got to minimize the giveaways in the Ducks zone, or in our own zone, I should say, because that's what really hangs UC Saros out to dry, and we've seen that way too much this season.
Yes, we cannot have a repeat of last when they played Montreal. It
just can't have it. Can't have it happen. And I'm telling you, this Ducks team is playing with a lot of confidence, and I kind of honestly, get very similar vibes from the Ducks as I do the Predators. I think the Ducks are a team that are playing with a chip on their shoulder. No one gave them any respect in the preseason. And so can you really blame them? We got a comment here. Whit C on Facebook, or on YouTube, I should say, says Benning has been okay, although analytics paints a different picture. What does Myers have to do to become the third right defenseman on a full-time basis? That's a very, very good question, and that is a tough question to answer. Whit, thank you for that comment. So Benning plays that style that John Hines loves. He is a very physical type of player. He hits hard. I like Benning personally. I've never had a problem with Benning being in the lineup at all. But when it comes to Philippe Myers, which is who Whit just brought up, he's also showing a lot of promise here, and I think it just goes to show you the third pairing for the defense for the Preds has been an issue for a couple seasons now. Going back to Peter Laviolette, the third pairing has been a very troubling issue for this team. And so it's all I can say is it's a work in progress. It's a work in progress.
We remember the days of Yannick Weber and Dan Hamhuis. No shade on Dan Hamhuis.
Don't be throwing shame. No, I'm going to bring up Matt Irwin before. Matt Irwin.
Okay, that's a good one.
Dare we bring up Corbinian Holzer, or what was the other guy's name? What was Eric Gudbranson was on the third pairing.
Apparently he's doing really good now, though. He's with the Flames.
All right, we had Jared Tenorti. I mean, we can go on all night. It's been a really troubled area of the team. But thank you for the comment, Whit. We've also got Justin Gambino, who says hello. Justin Gambino is in our fantasy hockey league. So welcome to the Watchalong, Justin.
So Whit C said again, I like the raw tools Myers has, but he seems a lot more high risk reward, while Benning won't give you outstanding play, but he's rarely making a Harper style breakdown. That's absolutely true. And with that, it's probably because Benning has a little more experience than Myers. I think Myers will eventually get there. Hines likes the big defenseman, and Myers is a big dude. So
very true.
I think he'll get there. So
thank you for that. Thank you for that, Whitsey. Also, we got Michael White. What's up, guys? It's Mike Twitter. Mike Twitter. All right. I didn't know. We miss you, Mike Twitter. We haven't seen Mike Twitter in a while.
It's been a long time.
He is my fellow San Francisco Giants fan in baseball.
That's right.
So what's up, Mike Twitter? We will start. We'll just call you Mike Twitter. We're gonna keep calling you Mike Twitter because I just love that name. And so welcome to the Watchalong, Mike Twitter. All right, so let's update what we got going on here. We're about 3.5 minutes into the game, still 0-0. Both teams are kind of like trading chances, but not a lot going on. I do like the pace. I think the Preds have been in good position on defense. They're scooping up loose pucks. They're having a little trouble. I will say the Ducks are playing a very aggressive forecheck right now, and they just caused a tough Preds giveaway in the zone right when I say that. The Ducks are kind of smothering the Preds a little bit, and the Preds are having trouble getting out of their own zone and getting into transition. Tell me you haven't heard that before this season.
Oh,
and so the Ducks are the Ducks are clamping in right now, and we have nightmares about this every day as Preds fans when we see this kind of stuff go on.
There's a turnover again. Yeah, that's the bad part about this. Like, they just seem like they can't control the puck, and they just cannot pass the puck very well sometimes.
Which is a big reason why they are probably one of the worst teams in the league when it comes to generating shots on goal.
Yep, absolutely. I think it's what you said before about Anaheim's got a chip on their shoulder. Like you said,
we got a Lindsay chiming in again. She says, "Has Jeannot's game slowed down a little bit? He seems to be quiet right now. He's definitely kind of shot off like a rocket early in the season, and he's kind of has been held in check a little bit. Can't argue with that at all. Like, he's still a very young and raw player, so he's going to go through some moments where maybe he doesn't get enough ice time, maybe he doesn't get in the right situations, but he's definitely cooled off a little bit." And very, very honest observation from Lindsay there. He's definitely slowed down a little bit. Saros just made a really big pad save to keep this game scoreless. The Ducks are definitely
another one. Oh,
yeah,
the one.
The Ducks are definitely the aggressors right now in this game. They are kind of the Preds are a little bit on their heels. They're trying to make sure they don't give up that first goal again. And so they're kind of the Ducks are the aggressor here. It's not really what you want to see to open up this game, but the Preds are under duress a little bit here, unfortunately.
But not as bad as that Montreal game.
Don't speak too soon, Rich. Come on now.
I know. We're only
I'm just saying, you're jinxing us like all hell right now.
I do not want to jinx. Well, I will tell you, I did watch the game over at my in-laws' house, the Montreal game, and I never do that, so I might have jinxed them.
Oh, yeah, you're never allowed to watch a Preds game at your in-laws' house ever again.
That's what I told them.
You're going to have to find something else to watch when you're at the in-laws' house.
That's what I told them. I was like,
we're going to be superstitious. We're going to be totally superstitious.
Yep. Not just a little stitious.
Yes. Superstitious. All right.
Very
so the Preds seem to be kind of slowing some things down a little bit. Maybe they're taking a little heat off of Saros for now anyway. But the Ducks are showing why they're the hottest team in the league right now. They're definitely making some things happen. And finally, John Gibson has to make a save. Duchesne, of all people, we're used to saying that. He forces John Gibson to make the save. They're heading to a break. Pretty good-looking wrister there. Gibson makes the save, though. All right.
Awesome.
So, speaking of that, let's kind of get into some other stuff going on with the Preds right now, and that is some news we heard today regarding Philip Forsberg's mysterious injury status.
Yeah.
And we got from Brooks Bratton, who is your go-to. If you really need to know what's going on inside and out on the Preds, Brooks Bratton is who you need to be following, along with a lot of other good follows as well, like Adam Binion. But Brooks Bratton shared what's going on with Phil Forsberg, and there is trending in the right direction that possibly Phil Forsberg, he could be back this week. Now, the caveat to that is we got to see how he looks in actual skating with the team. So I'm thinking there's a really good opportunity for Forsberg to return on Friday against the New Jersey Devils.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Actually, against Vegas would be even better, but I know that that's probably not going to happen. But
it would. That just seems like too quick of a turnaround if he's just now getting back on the ice to skate with the team. I'm sure he's been doing his own personal rehab assignments and workouts, but as far as skating with the team, that's something that's just been introduced this week. So it would be very surprising to see him rush back against Vegas. But I got to tell you, I got a lot of positive vibes and an uplifting when I saw that he could be back this week, because I was starting to worry that he would not be back for I was starting to think doomsday here. Like, how long is this here for? If he can come back this week, that's not only a great boost for the Preds, obviously, but it's also a really good boost for him, because he needs to get back in there, because this is obviously his contract season.
Yes, definitely. So Whitsey asked another question, said Athletics Dom L has Alex Carrier. Oh, it moved. With a higher value in his analytics model than Ekholm, is the jury finally closed on if Carrier is a good defenseman? Still questions about lack of experience. I like him. I think he always plays a good game. They must trust him because they put him on top defensive pairing. So, we've seen him make some mistakes, but they all make mistakes. So, glad he's back. That's for sure. Definitely glad he's back.
I think Whitsey is hitting on the fact that our defense outside of Yossi, I almost said UC Saros, outside of Roman Yossi, and obviously with Alex Carrier, who he brought up, it's a very unknown defensive core right now. Even if you want to talk about Dante Fabro, the defensive core is not as set in stone like it used to be in the good old days when you had Shea Weber and you had Ekholm in his prime and you had Ryan Ellis and you had, it's just not like that anymore. Like, the Preds are kind of trying to retool and reload their defensive core. And so that's kind of where we're at right now. But he brings up a lot of really good point. Mike Twitter says, haha, Yossi Saros. Yeah, that's our newest player is Yossi Saros. Yossi Saros is the newest player. If anyone's looking for a burner account on Twitter, they need to name it Yossi Saros.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh, that's a good one.
Someone's going to beat me to that. I don't need another social media account because I have enough to manage right now. But if someone wants to go ahead and take that burner account, Yossi Saros will be a really good one.
Yep.
All right, so as the game goes on here, we're getting close to the 8-minute mark. We're about 8 minutes into regulation, into the first period. Still 0-0. Shots are tied 4 apiece right now. So the game, we got our first penalty coming of the game, actually. And it's the Ducks heading to the power, heading to the box. The Ducks are.
All right.
Let's see what happened here. Cross-checking, and that is a clear cross-check that Tolvanen just drew on Cam Fowler. And you love that. What do they always say in hockey, Rich? The hockey purists. When you drive the net and when you get in those dirty areas, good things happen.
Yes. And that's that was the Preds' bread and butter for a while.
Well done. Well done, Nelly Tolvanen drawing that penalty. He was in a good area. Let's see. We got Mike Twitter power play. Mike Twitter power play. Here we go. Justin Gambino. Let's go. Power play time. And Yossi blast incoming, according to Justin Gambino. Let's hope Justin Gambino is right.
Hopefully he'll get it. I want to see Tolvanen score on this power play.
I would too. Yeah, he's another player where he never really got going, unfortunately.
Well, that's true. You're right.
So Justin Gambino is pretty smart because we did just see a Yossi blast. It missed the net. It missed the net, but he did have one.
No, it's coming.
And I'm so sorry, Rich. I think you're behind me on the stream or on the feed, so I'm going to ruin everything for you tonight. But it's okay.
Fine. I'm here for it. That's okay. I want to know.
All right. There is some really good power. There is some really good puck movement on this power play, I got to say. They're going to have to reset here, but there has been some really good puck movement on this power play for sure.
Whit Cease has been like 8 months since we had a Tolvie snipe on the power play. Yes.
We need it now.
Absolutely right now.
For sure.
Or Duchesne. I'll take that too.
The Preds need to play with the lead tonight for sure.
Yeah.
Get off to a good start. Play their game. They're getting plenty of zone time here. They're getting so much zone time. Unfortunately, they're just not getting a good lane to shoot.
Yeah, that was what happened quite a bit.
And unfortunately, that happens sometimes. I mean, you get the zone time you want, and you get the puck movement, but it just doesn't get set up for you. And there wasn't a lack of possession or opportunities on that power play, but unfortunately, wow. I think the Ducks just committed another penalty.
Oh, we will take it. Absolutely, we'll take that.
And that's kind of what we were just talking about here. So even though the Preds couldn't score a goal on that first power play, they were still productive, and they were still forcing the Ducks to make really desperate decisions, and they draw another penalty. That's what you love to see. It's going to be 1 second on the 5-on-3. Rich, do you think they can score on a 5-on-3 with 1 second?
I hope so, but I doubt it.
All right.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Michael White, Mike Twitter, 1 second 5-on-3. Let's go. Let's score the first ever Preds 1 second 5-on-3 power play. How about that? I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm going to go ahead and assume.
Yeah. By the time they drop it.
But this is big here. This is where you can build some momentum. This is where you can tire out the other team's defense. This is good. This is what you want to see. So now the second power play attempt is underway here. So
there you go.
I mean, just keep pushing. Keep pushing along.
The two Ducks that are in the box had mullets. Did you see that?
Well, that's that. I feel like that's starting to be a fashion trend here.
I think it is a thing.
And I'm going to be totally left out of that because if I grew a mullet, I would probably get arrested on the spot for scaring people. So no mullets for Chad. No mullets for Chad.
That would be weird.
I could grow one if I wanted to. It would just be very scary.
I could too.
Let's not do that, all right? Let's not set
But
any
I'm not going to
bets.
do that.
Last,
No bets.
So last season we set a bet that the Preds wouldn't win. How many games in a row? Was it 5?
5.
And we all had to grow mustaches if the Preds won 5 in a row. And that was
Yeah.
back when our good buddy Colin Bloom was one of our co-hosts.
Yeah.
And on season 1 of Catfish on Ice, and we all had to grow mustaches. And
that actually hurt you and Colin worse than it did me.
Well, we're not doing
full beards.
We're not doing that with mullets. I'm sorry, but that's just not happening.
No. Plus, it would take forever.
The only way I would do it is if it was in the sacrifice of the Preds winning a Stanley Cup. So if we want to make the bet if the Preds win a Stanley Cup, I'll grow a mullet, then that's about the only way I would do it.
Yeah. It looks like Lindsay said everybody's delayed on here. So Mike Twitter said, I'll chill with my reactions. No, you don't have to. It's fine.
No. We're having fun. This is what it's all about.
We're all good. Yep. It's fine.
I'm giving it a good 5 seconds or 10 seconds before I actually react to what's happening to give everyone time to get caught up because I really don't want to ruin it for anybody. But we really do appreciate all of our listeners. Oh, my mother is in the podcast stream. Oh. My mom is in the podcast. This just got really interesting. I did send her the link today. So, yeah.
She says Chad had a mullet.
I did. Have a mullet.
I would love nothing more than to see a picture of that.
But hey, time out. That was back when I didn't get to control my haircut.
Oh,
I mean, yeah. So let's. I think I had a pretty cool mullet, but
there you go.
Anyway, that was back in the '90s when mullets were cool.
So we need to while Chad's mom is on here, we need to thank her. If you guys see all the logos and stuff, the Catfish on Ice logo, all the things that the graphic stuff, she does all that for us, and we really appreciate it.
Yes, she's very talented graphic designer in the Nashville area, and she designed our logo. And I'm biased here, but it's the best logo on the Hockey Podcast Network. So all the credit goes to her for that. She designs a lot of our graphics and a lot of our promos, and so we can't thank her enough for that.
Definitely.
All right, so let's update the game here. We're getting down under 8 minutes left in the first period. The Preds have really kind of stopped that early momentum that the Ducks had. I like their response. I like the way they're playing. I really do.
Yep. What happened?
Perfect timing. I'll let that simmer for a little bit so everyone else can get caught up.
Yeah, please let it. Oh, yep.
How far behind are you, Rich? Good.
Very. Apparently a lot.
Did you push pause on your DVR or something?
I did not. It's live.
What a goal.
It's Bally's. Let's see. Oh, I bet it's coming right here.
What a
Ryan Johansson with the tally.
Hey, that was the definition of a team goal.
Yes.
That was a team goal on the rush. We have not seen that enough this season. And Lindsay, I'm pretty sure you were talking about Tanner Jeannot and how he's cooled off a little bit. Well, guess what? Tanner Jeannot is heating back up. He did not score the goal. The goal goes to Ryan Johansson with an outstanding, accurate shot to beat John Gibson. But that rush was started by Trennan, who made an outstanding pass.
Oh, my gosh. That behind-the-back pass.
And Trennan and then Jeannot sent it to Johansson. And I'm sorry, but Gibson had no chance at stopping that.
No.
What a teamwork goal by the Preds.
Assistant coach Dan Highnote congratulating all the boys. That's awesome.
What a goal. That's what awesome. We need more of. That is a big time first strike by the Preds. Big time there.
Yep. They needed that. Definitely. There was a funny comment up here. Let's see if I can find it. Mike Witt said you had 2 options in the Southern 90s if you weren't making your own hair decisions, mullet or a bowl.
Well, I never had the bowl, I don't think.
Yeah.
If I did have that haircut, hopefully that picture's been burned and shredded and we'll never see of it ever again.
Oh man. I hope you're something.
I'll take a mullet over a bowl cut any day.
Oh yeah,
that's just me.
Absolutely.
But luckily, I don't have to worry about that because I'm bald, and bald is beautiful.
Yeah. Commercial break. That chick from 90210. That's the commercial I'm seeing.
All right. Well, we're not going to talk about commercials. All right. So as we're getting through this first period here, so the Preds get another big time goal. They strike first, big time there, and let's just kind of update what the stats are looking like right now. The game stats as we're heading through the game here. Johansson scores his 6th goal of the season. The assists come from Yakov Trenin and Tanner Jeannot. That's going to make a highlight reel tonight.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
That goal will be on a highlight reel. I think it might make SportsCenter's top 10, actually. Trenin gets his 3rd assist of the season. Tanner Jeannot gets his 4th assist of the season. Like Lindsay said, Tanner Jeannot's been a little quiet lately, and right on cue, he gets a pretty big assist. But I'm going to call that a full team effort goal there.
Oh, absolutely.
Not to take anything away from Ryan Johansson, because he absolutely put the exclamation point on it by putting that puck in the right spot to beat Gibson. A very accurate shot by which goes down as a wrister for Johansson for his 6th goal of the season. So the big money players continue to produce for this team.
And that's what we need. Looks like they're winning shots on goal, 6-10. Face-off, they're winning face-off, 60-40. That's good. Hits, 3-6 for Predators. That's good. Anaheim's got 3 blocks, the Predators 2, but and see 4-2 on giveaways. Yep, not good, but
early returns. The Preds are kind of controlling action. The way that game opened, though, tonight, the Ducks were really clamping down on them. So I love the response that the Preds made after that early first few minutes where the Ducks were kind of doing what they wanted to do. So
yes.
As of now, the Preds are doing a really good job. They're playing aggressive. They're playing their style of game, which is what I love. Like they're dictating it. They're dictating the pace of the game again. And they're not, dare I say, UC Saros has not had to really be that sharp yet. Even though he does have 7 saves, he has not had to be that sharp yet.
Yeah, and after what happened to him in the last game against Montreal, it's good to see him. Like it looks like he's settled in. He's not letting it linger. He can't do that, obviously. So this will be a good game for him to come back. Yeah. Hopefully they can not do anything stupid so he gets hung out to dry.
Lindsay says, just had to speak it into existence. Well, Lindsay, we need you to speak a lot of things into existence.
Yeah, definitely.
if you got that, because you already got the Flames, who are one of the best teams in the league right now, playing one of the best. So go ahead and give us some of that for the Preds too. If you got something to give it to us.
Absolutely.
I'm happy for Ryan Johansson though, because he kind of gets lumped in with Matt Duchene constantly. Like they're both kind of like linked together as the underperforming, high-paid players. And so Duchene has obviously just been on a tear. We're going to talk more in depth about Matt Duchene during the first intermission, about what he's doing this season and just how amazing he's been. But Ryan Johansson, he gets in on the scoring action there, so it's good to see that.
Yep. What's Whitsey said, I know Trenin and Jeannot had that assist, but I'm a big fan of them keeping Tolvanen and Tomasino with Joey for now. Yeah. I think that was another issue they had with the game against Montreal is the lines got kind of they were a little different, things we weren't used to seeing. And probably not a good idea to be experimenting at this point, but I guess he thought, which that brings me back to the overlooking thing. I don't know if he overlooked him and he's like, oh, I'm going to try this out tonight, but it definitely did not pan out.
Well, it was very interesting, and maybe I use interesting not in a good way, that they took out Tommy Novak in the last game.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that was weird.
I mean, and I know we criticize the lines all the time, and every time that we come out with the lineup, there's always going to be naysayers who are like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? But it really was kind of a puzzling move to take out Tommy Novak, a player who has been such a great surprise for your team. He's been a very good offensive mover of the puck, and he handles the puck well. And I just don't understand why he was the one that was chosen to be taken out. And then tonight, to get Tommy Novak back into the lineup, you've got Matthew Olivier out of the lineup. So it's the musical chairs that we've been used to around here for a while. You just really you just really never know what this lineup's going to look like.
Yeah, he wasn't doing it for a long time. He was keeping everything pretty consistent, but then I know he's flipped. So Tomasino was playing on like the first line, and then he had some trouble in Toronto, and Tolvanen was on the fourth line, and he flipped those guys for Montreal. But I don't think anything could have helped that. So.
We got Mike Twitter getting in on the action here. He says Johansson to me gets such a bad rep from media and all. If you watch every game going back to last year, he makes things happen on the ice. He's definitely his better string of play definitely dates back towards the end of last season. I will say that. He has had a lot of really bad stretches recently going back towards last season, but he really turned it over going back to last season. So, very good point there. We've got a little bit of a scrum here. The officials break it up before anything happens, but Michael McCarron.
You don't want to tangle with him.
Michael McCarron kind of wants to get in on the fighting action. He's actually jawing at the Ducks bench as he's skating back.
Oh. There you go. I see it.
You don't want to
tangle with McCarron.
Yeah, he's definitely so McCarron's kind of making enemies of the entire Ducks team right now. Like he's ready to fight all of them right now.
Good. I want to see that. That would be awesome.
It looks like what sparked the whole thing is, I guess, McCarron knocked one of the Ducks players into John Gibson. And hockey players are always going to stick up for their goaltender.
Absolutely.
So that's just part of hockey. That's part of it. Cam Fowler, who is a veteran on this defensive core for the Ducks, he's kind of getting mixed up in all this as well. But no fists are thrown in that scrum. The officials broke it up. Yet's the key word there. The fact that the Preds haven't gotten in a fight yet, and it's almost the end of the first period, is probably the most surprising thing in this game so far.
That has been their thing lately.
Every first period, it seems like the Preds getting in a fight.
Yep.
But it hasn't happened tonight yet. McCarron tried to do it. He tried to carry on the legacy, but the officials broke it up too quick.
Yep. Whitsy. I'm just going to say Whit. I'm not going to say Whitsy anymore. I'm always a big Joey believer, but last year he was not getting pucks to open players in the slot, which is what he was always able to do before then. Feels like he's realizing that his old playbook isn't paying off anymore, and he's looking to shoot more often because of that. Really, really happy about it. Yes, I agree. It's good to see him back in form. Hopefully he can continue with what he's doing. I just had a thought. We were talking about media giving him a bunch of grief. I think it's because he makes so much money. If he wasn't making as much money, if he was making like $5 or $6 million a year, probably wouldn't be caring as much. But when you pay that much for a player like him, and you pay that much for Duchesne, and you don't get anything for it, back in return for 2 or 3 years, then that's people are going to definitely pile that.
That and also the fact that Johansson has always been billed as a top line center, and when you have that type of a tag on you. Top line centers, we see the top line centers in the NHL. We see the points they produce. And Johansson was coming nowhere close to that for a while. Mm-mm. And so that's kind of where it came in. And it was totally justified in my opinion.
Absolutely.
As
Lindsay
said,
Lindsay said, on an unrelated note, I don't like the Ducks away jerseys, and
I don't either. I agree with that. They're not pleasing
I do like
at
the
all.
orange ones though. I like the orange ones. Those
I think the Ducks need a total rebranding. Their actual whole branding is kind of outdated, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
So
I think they need to go back to using the flying V.
Yeah, go back to your
18 minutes, and it took that long for a Mighty Ducks reference.
Go back to your right? I didn't see that coming. Go back to your old school Mighty Ducks jerseys. Oh my gosh, I would tend to maybe slightly like the. Actually, I won't say like. I'll slightly hate the Ducks a little less if they go back to the old school Mighty Ducks jerseys.
We have the City Life Project on YouTube. Says, "What's up, boys? How's it going?
What's up, the City Life? I'm pretty sure that's Isha. That's Isha. I know by his picture. That's Isha. What's up, Isha?
Hey, what's up,
the co-founder of the Hockey Podcast Network. He is such an amazing person. He brought us on to the Hockey Podcast Network, and it's been life-changing. Go follow all the other podcasts on the Hockey Podcast Network. There are so many good podcasts.
Yeah.
Every team has a podcast. There's other podcasts out there as well that cover more broad NHL topics. And Isha, what's up? Thank you so much, man. Love you up there in Vancouver, beautiful Vancouver. Me and him did a watch along together when
great.
the Preds played the Canucks, and that you want to talk about a crazy, exciting game.
Mm-hmm.
That might still be the most exciting game of the Preds season so far.
Yeah,
and,
that was a good.
Oh my gosh, you want to talk about just back and forth. Duchesne had a really big goal in that game. UC Saros made some really crazy saves, but Thatcher Demko for the Canucks also made some really good saves. It was a fun game. So these watch-alongs are a blast to do. So we figured we would try it out on the Catfish on Ice podcast YouTube channel. And we plan on doing more watch-alongs throughout the season. I also plan on joining the Hockey Podcast Network on some watch-alongs as the season goes on. So stay tuned for that. We appreciate all the listeners getting in on the comments tonight. That's what really makes these watch-alongs so much fun, is when we get participation from our listeners, because you all are what really makes the podcast.
Yep.
We don't have you. If we don't have you, we don't have a podcast. That's totally
absolutely
true.
Justin Gambino said he likes the old Mighty Ducks jerseys. That's about it. Just movie nostalgia. That's true. But the movie is pretty daggone good.
It is a really good movie. It's one of those movies, if it's on TV, you're probably going to watch it. If you have time to watch it.
The new show they did too, the series was really good. So
yeah. All right, so we're coming down to the last 2 minutes of this first period, and I mean it's flying by. It really is. It's been a pretty fast moving game, and it's kind of, I mean, there's not the goaltenders are not being tested that much. I mean, it's been a pretty much a very choppy type of game where both teams are having to work pretty hard to find clear shots and find really high danger shots. The Preds still have not committed a penalty yet, which is amazing. I love that.
That's good. I'll take it.
That's one of those things. They just have a hard time staying out of the penalty box. And when you have a penalty kill that's struggling right now, it's paramount that you stay out of the box. Yeah. And so they've done that so far, and that's really good.
Mike Twitter says, "Are you planning on attending any games this season, Chad?"
Very good question. I do. I plan on going to December 2nd against the Boston Bruins is my next game I plan on going to.
And of time, I will be there as well.
Yes. And so it's going to be a lot of fun. So if anyone's going to be at that game that listens to the podcast, let us know. DM me or DM us. And we would love to meet some of the listeners in person, because this is when we get to watch this beautiful sport together. And it would be amazing to actually meet some of our listeners in person. UC Saros just made a really big – I just talked about high danger saves. Pretty sure that will go down as a high danger save. Saros makes a really clutch save, and the first period is over.
There you go.
With the Preds up 1-0. The shots are pretty even, and it was a very back and forth period. I would call it a pretty even period, even though the game is 1-0 Predators. You always know that there's going to be adjustments made, and the Preds tend to have that one really bad period every game. They can't do that in the second period.
Not at all. Lindsay says, "Should I come down to Nashville for a game?" Absolutely. It is such a blast. Such a good place to watch a game. Everything is top notch in Bridgestone. It's amazing. It's very amazing. And in the intermission, somebody asked something about top 5 hockey jerseys in the NHL. Maybe we can talk about that a little bit.
All right. Well, right now we're at the first intermission. We're in it for the long haul here. We're here for the entire game. Real quick, before we move on throughout this watch along, we're going to throw some love to our sponsor, and that is DraftKings. DraftKings has an awesome NHL offer going on right now for all of our listeners. All you got to do is go get the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use our promo code THPN, because right now the NHL season is underway, and DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the NHL, has an unbelievable offer to celebrate the greatest sport on ice. New customers can bet just $1 on any NHL game and win hundreds of dollars in free bets if either team scores a goal. Doesn't matter if it's a one-timer, a clapper, or a beautiful Ryan Johansson goal. That would have won you $100 in free bets right there if you would have bet on it. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code THPN. Throw down $1 on any NHL game and win $100 in free bets if either team scores a goal. This week, one puck in the net nets you a big win with promo code THPN at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. Must be 21 years or older in New Jersey, Indiana, or Pennsylvania. New customers only. Restrictions apply. Minimum $5 deposit, $1 wager required, and one per customer. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. And if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-9-FIT. We take a 30-second to kind of reset everything. Stay with us. We will come back with some intermission talk about how the game's going, talk about some key stats, and also talk about Matt Duchene and how he has a really good chance to break the Preds single-season goal record. So stay with us on the other side. This is episode 82 of Catfish on Ice, live watch-along of the Nashville Predators and the Anaheim Ducks. All right, we're back for the first intermission of the watch-along with the Nashville Predators and the Anaheim Ducks. We appreciate everyone joining us tonight for this watch-along. We got a lot of really awesome comments tonight. Keep them coming. Keep talking about the game with us. We can't get enough topics. If you have any friends out there who are watching the game with you, get them in on the YouTube chat stream right now. We can't have enough people getting in on this watch along. Rich, give me your top takeaways from the first period.
Hey man, the Johansson goal, it's amazing just to see him playing that well. And like you said, that was one of the top 5 goals of the season so far. They needed to get off to a fast start, and they did. They looked sluggish a little bit, but hopefully they've got that out of their system, and they're looking a little chippy now. So I think things are trending in the right direction. It's definitely different, a different look than when they played Montreal.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I thought it's a big response to the last game. And that's what we were saying in the pregame when we were talking about it. We were saying, like, look, you got to turn the page here. That's what really good teams do. It's an 82-game season. You're going to have some duds. You're going to have some games where you lay an egg and you look terrible. The good teams, they turn the page quickly and they forget about that. They remember it in the sense that let's not let that happen again, but they turn the page quickly. I feel like the Preds did a really good job in that first period of doing just that, and that's why they're up 1-0 right now. Lindsay on the YouTube channel says, what do we think the stadium jerseys are going to look like for Nashville? You know what? I keep forgetting the fact that the Preds are going to be hosting an outdoor game in like 3 months from now.
Yeah, I really wanted to go get some tickets for that.
They're outrageous.
They're a little outrageous, but we'll see what happens. Maybe we can swing it. I don't know, but it would be amazing.
We'll see what happens. It's going to be, and hey, February, the weather in February in Nashville is always a wild card.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it could be 50 degrees and like a muggy, like balmy, or it could end up being in the 20s. You really don't know what it's going to be like that time of year when it comes to Nashville weather. So that'll be interesting to see. I really think that the Preds are going to involve more of their old school navy blue into their Stadium Series jerseys. I really do. A lot of people wanted them to do that in the Winter Classic jerseys, in the reverse retro jerseys. But I do think that in this instance, it'd be really cool to put some more of the navy blue into your concept, because you're playing in the Tennessee Titans home stadium. And we all know that Tennessee Titans have the two-tone blue as their main color scheme. Most of your Preds fans are also Titans fans. So why not tie the two together and come up with a really cool color scheme? As you're playing in Nissan Stadium in those types of color schemes, that's going to be a really awesome and cool look there. So good question, Lindsay.
It was very much so. I really liked I actually have a Winter Classic Pecorine jersey, and I love the Winter Classic jerseys, everything about them. I know a lot of some people don't like them and some do, but as soon as they came out, man, I had to order me one.
Well, the Winter Classic jerseys were really cool to me because it was nostalgia in the sense, because it paid homage to the Dixie Flyers, which was the first hockey team in Nashville. I'm a very major history buff. Like, I love watching all the history documentaries. I can watch like Civil War documentaries and all that fun, boring stuff all the time. And so whenever I can learn more about history, like, sign me up for it. And so it was really fun when the Winter Classic jerseys came out to understand the history of hockey in Nashville and see the Dixie Flyers. So the Winter Classic jerseys really grew on me as well. Now, I would really like to forget how bad the Preds fell apart in that game against the Stars that year. But other than that, really good memories. The reverse retro jerseys also grew on me. I was not crazy about them at first, but they've also grown on me. So,
I don't know. I like them, but not enough to buy one. I thought they looked cool, but I don't know. I just put two and two together. I watched the Winter Classic over at my in-laws, and they lost. I cannot go over there anymore.
You're never allowed. You're never allowed to watch a game over there ever again.
That's no good.
All right. Let's see. As we got the first intermission here and everything, Preds up 1-0. Very evenly played game for the most part, but the Preds got that big goal from Ryan Johansson. But let's talk about Matt Duchene for our first intermission topic. All of our listeners, get in on this topic here. We're talking about Matt Duchene, who just had a hat trick in the third period in the last game. He is on pace, everyone, going into this game for 56 goals, an 82-game pace of 56 goals. Now, I'm not saying that he's going to score 56 goals, so do not twist my words and go out there and say that Chad Minton, host of Catfish on Ice, predicted Matt Duchene to score 56 goals. I'm not saying that. But he is on an insane pace, and he had a really good opportunity in the first period to score a goal. He kind of made John Gibson make a really tough save in that first period. He's playing with a different mindset. The all-time Preds single-season goal record is 34 goals by Victor Arvidsson, set in 2018-19. Even if Matt Duchene goes on a little bit of a fade and kind of quiets down for a little bit, he has got a massive head start to break that record this season. If he can even partially keep up this pace, he's got a really good chance, barring any type of injuries, to break that record. Not only break it, but maybe even scratch. I think a realistic mark to set for Matt Duchene is, can he break 40 goals? Can he break the 40-goal mark? I think that's fair.
He's actually, I was just looking at the the goal leaders this season. He's actually in a 4-way tie for 5th place right now. Some people that are in there with him, Connor McDavid has 12 goals. Terry from Anaheim. Matt Duchene. Chris Kreider has 13. And then obviously, you get into your Mangiapane and Ovechkin, and those guys have 15, and then Draisaitl has 18. So he's still in the top, roughly the top 5. So we'll see how if he can hang out there. That's pretty good. Good to see him up there.
Witt chimes in and says, so you're saying he's scoring 60, and then Lindsay also agrees, so you're saying there's a chance he can score 60. I say he does it. No, that's not what I said. I did not say scoring 60 goals. Stop with that. Although if I did say that, he does it, I would look really smart. But no, I'm not saying that. I'm a very realistic person here. I think that it's very realistic that he's going to break 40 goals on the season, which would be the first time ever the Preds have ever done that, obviously, which is kind of amazing if you think about it. It's kind of amazing that the Preds have never had a 40-goal scorer.
Yeah. Yeah,
but it just goes to show you that this team has never had a ton of offensive playmakers on their team. They've never been that type of team. You've always thought that Philip Forsberg would be the one that would score 40 goals first. But, I think it's very realistic, very high probability that Matt Duchene will break the 40-goal mark and finish around that number. 40 goals, 41. I think that's fair.
But when you look at when – like Matt Duchene was brought in and Johansson was brought in and even Mikael Granlund, all those guys had amazing seasons with the team they were on before they got to Nashville. And everybody was just hopeful that they were going to get a 40-goal scorer or whatever down the line. And it just hasn't panned out. So,
well, the thing about Matt Duchene, the thing about Matt Duchene is he's never been a big goal scorer in his entire career. Really, like not among the elite goal scorers. I should put it that way. He's always been a very elite puck handler. He knows how to. I always like to say, and you've heard it from other people, he knows how to skate well in a phone booth. Like he just knows how to hold the puck and make these crazy, insane stick handling moves, and then a lot of times that creates scoring chances for his line mates. But the way he's actually scoring the puck and shooting this season is just something that is not a normal on brand for Matt Duchene. So it's been great to see. Let's just see if he can keep it up.
Yeah, we've always seen little flashes of it here and there, but nothing since he's been here. He has not played like this. So, to my knowledge, for this amount of games.
Let's look at it. So Tolvanen had 3 shots on goal in that first period. So that stands out to me. Trennan had a 1 shot on goal. He had a block shot. He had 2 hits, so and an assist. So a very productive period for Yakov Trennan. He is all over the box score early on, so that's really good to see. And then, of course, Ryan Johansson gets the goal, and also with the 1 shot on goal as well. Matt Duchene put up almost 9 minutes of ice time in that first period. Roman Josi led all skaters in ice time. No surprise there. And so, pretty productive period there. The defense made some blocks, hits. A lot of different players are getting in on the hits. And then, of course, UC Saros saved all 9 of the shots he faced. But I don't think Saros got tested nearly as much as we've been seeing him get tested. It was actually, relatively speaking, a pretty relaxed first period, I should say, for Saros. He didn't have to be too great.
And it was good to ease in after the Montreal game. Ease back into it a little bit.
Got another good question from Witt here. Question for y'all: Does Cunnin deserve his permanent spot in the top 6? Oh, for sure.
I think so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think so.
He is kind of the engine for me that keeps the thing running. Like you can't ever discount. You would like to see his scoring up a little bit, but you love his aggression. You love his hitting. He's a hitting forward. He fits John Hines' system perfectly the way he plays. If Cunnin played for some of these other teams that are a lot more flashy offensively, then maybe he wouldn't fit in well. But for a type of team like the Preds, he fits in perfectly. He also can still bring you that offense occasionally, but he's definitely just he's a harder hitting version of Rocco Grimaldi.
Yeah, and a little tougher, I would say.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he's a harder hitter. He's obviously a way better defensive player than Rocco Grimaldi. But they play with that same type of engine, that same type of really just hard-nosed, like Not going to leave anything out there to dry. Just work hard. Be the hardest working player on the ice. That's what I get out of Luke Cunnin, and you can't ever, ever discount that in your top six.
He's willing to get in front of the net with people who are a lot bigger than him and fight. So that's what we always want to see. So, yeah, that's a good question.
For sure. All right. So we're coming through this first intermission here again. We are broadcasting live on our YouTube channel right now. So if you're listening, please hit the subscribe button. We'd really appreciate it. Rich, how about you tell us a little bit about the giveaway we got going on right now? We got a contest giveaway going on right now. We got 2 really awesome prizes that you can win. Very simple. Rich, tell them about it.
Yeah, so we're trying to reward some of our people who are signed up on YouTube and on Twitter. If you the rules for the contest are on our Twitter page, but we're giving away. I think we're gonna cut it off this Friday. Is the cutoff? We're gonna give away a signed Nashville Predators puck signed by Colton Sissons. I've got it right over here. It's sitting on my shelf, and a $25 gift certificate to the Nashville locker room. So all you got to do is sign up on YouTube, give us a subscribe, follow on Twitter, and you'll be put in the drawing.
It's as easy as that. It's easy as that. We've already got a decent amount of people who've already got in on it, but it's still very much there's a lot more people who can get in on it, and of course, pretty awesome prize there. You can't ever have too much Pred swag, and Nashville locker room has some of the best selection you can ask for.
Absolutely, definitely.
So definitely go do that if you're not subscribed already. Hit us a subscribe, and we'll enter you in on the contest. If you're listening tonight, you want to let us know that you just subscribed. Let us know, and we'll put you in. So the second period's underway now. Let's see how the Preds do. The second period has not been their friend in a lot of cases. It seems like the Preds always have that one period where they just look terrible. Now would not be a good time to do that. There's never a good time to do that.
Lindsay said, will you ship to Canada if I win? Can I even use the gift card? I will definitely ship it to you in Canada. If the gift card thing doesn't work out, we'll send you an Amazon gift card or something.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure something out.
I would think that you could use the gift card online on their website. I don't see why that would be a problem.
I don't know.
But we'll figure it out either way.
Yes, definitely.
All right, so Saros just had to make 2 ridiculous saves. I was just talking about how in the first period Saros didn't really get tested, and I'm pretty sure that this was a necessary penalty that Tanner Jeannot just took here because Saros was completely under duress. And I felt like the Ducks were about to score there, and tripping is the call on Tanner Jeannot, and the Preds got to kill a penalty now.
Tripping, don't Jeannot.
Yeah.
See what I did there?
Yeah, I did see it. All right, the Ducks have the 4th ranked power play in the league coming into tonight. So the Preds, their penalty kill is 23rd. Not. This is definitely an area that the Ducks can make things happen. Key moment in the game. Very key moment in the game right now.
Absolutely.
But I talk about this all the time. There's a difference. Sometimes penalties are necessary and you have to take them. I feel like that was a penalty where the defense broke down. Things were looking rough. Saros just had to make 2 ridiculous saves. He was out of position. He was not set at all, and the Ducks were still pushing in, and you end up taking a penalty. You get out of your out of position there, and you take a penalty. Sometimes you have to take penalties, and you put the test onto your penalty kill.
Yeah, I think they need a shorthanded goal here.
So I'm mad about the defensive breakdown. I'm not so mad about the actual penalty itself.
Right.
That's kind of where I'm at. So let's see. We got a stoppage in play here. This game's getting chippy. This game's starting to get chippy. And we've got another penalty being called, and I'm pretty sure it is on the Ducks. So that penalty is quickly erased. Let's look at the play here.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I agree with that. Ooh,
Yeah.
Actually, no. I'm going to be totally unbiased here. That's a bad call. I think that's a no call.
Oh, really?
I think we were benefit of the doubt there. Carrier was already starting to fall down, and when the Ducks player came into the boards, and I think that's a weak call. I'll take it, but if it's a little bit of a weak call.
I don't know. It was right in his back. I don't know.
It was a light touch though. I don't know. I see that get not called all the time, but so I see why the Ducks player is a little upset about that. But all right,
you know what?
Preds catch a break. We will take it. Preds catch a break. Penalty is quickly erased by the Ducks, and now it's 4-on-4 for a little bit, and then the Preds are going to get a short power play after that. So
it won't be the first time an NHL ref missed the
call.
All right.
Witz chiming in. It's a cross-checking penalty. He puts the stick on his back. It's light, but it's an emphasis this year. All right.
Yep.
Good observation from Witt there. Can't argue with that. It was a bang type of play, and the league is emphasizing on it. So good observation from Witt. Thank you for that. And so now the Preds got about a 70-second or so power play coming.
We will take it.
This game does not feel safe at 1-0, though. I can tell you that right now.
So I'm sure you've already seen it, but Tomasino just kind of had a breakaway and lost the puck.
Yeah.
He did that in Toronto too.
Yeah, we were talking about Jeannot kind of cooling off a little bit. Tomasino's cooled off a little bit as well. But honestly, when you're talking about young players like this, it's going to happen, unfortunately. They're not going to be the second coming of Wayne Gretzky right away. Or, I mean, we got to have realistic expectations for these young players. And so they're going to go through their spurts. They're going to go through their droughts. And, wow, the Ducks had a really good chance to score shorthanded just now. And once again, Saros had them up strong. Yeah, they're showing the Tomasino breakaway. I think he made one too many moves.
Yeah.
And lost puck. Yeah, he kind of second guessed himself a little bit there instead of being a little bit more deliberate and more assertive with his shot choice. But he's definitely kicking himself on the bench right now for that.
Justin Gambino said, "Man, Tomasino honestly can't finish so far in his NHL career." That's true, but he's a youngster.
He'll figure it out. This playing time he's gotten has been so invaluable for him, though. Like, you can't overlook how important this playing time has been for Tomasino. It's going to do wonders for his growth.
Yep. And hey, man, we don't get top 10 draft picks.
And the captain, Roman Josi, just broke loose through the slot thanks to a great pass from Mikael Granlund, and Gibson had to make a very, very clutch save there.
Hey, we're pretty close.
That was
being synced up.
I give a full 10 out of 10 on that setup from Mikael Granlund. That was a gorgeous setup.
Justin Gambino said he's had multiple dangerous chances like this. Yeah, so far never gets a good shot off. I have faith though, just so far. Mm-hmm. Witt says he's got the finesse, just has to make quicker decisions. That's true. That'll come.
Yeah, absolutely. Saros just made yet again another really good save on a Ducks breakaway chance. So I was saying in the first intermission that Saros had a pretty relatively light first period. Well, I can tell you in these first 4 minutes, it's been the opposite. Saros has had to be sharp.
It's good to see. It's really good to see him bounce back like this and get back on.
That's another really bad defensive breakdown, and I don't know what Mattias Ekholm was doing there. He was caught napping.
I'm waiting for it to catch up.
If you watch the replay there, I mean, Ekholm is very fortunate that was not a breakaway goal. I don't know what Ekholm was doing. He was just – Carrier was in the picture too, so maybe that was more his assignment, but Ekholm looked completely out of position to free up that breakaway.
Wow.
Ekholm's been under a lot of criticism this year for underperforming.
Yes. Yep. That's what happens. He got that big paycheck.
Yeah.
And then got the slumps. Witt said Granny had the best sauce when he was with Minnesota. I've been waiting 3 years to see it in gold. Loving it. Yes, absolutely. Everybody was on the fence about Granlund for so long under Laviolette. Obviously, he wasn't using him properly, but now it looks like he's really coming into his own again, which we love to see that.
You speak to a lot of the analytical folks, and they'll tell you that Granlund in Hines' system is just like night and day compared to Granlund when Laviolette was around.
Definitely a lot different. The whole makeup of the team's so different.
Absolutely. So as we continue to watch this second period, which has a lot more action in it, it's been a lot more. The goaltenders have had to really be tested a lot more than the first period. It's turning out to be a really exciting game after this second period. It's really been a lot of back and forth action here. You really feel like another goal's coming quickly here from one of the teams. Like I don't see this being a 1-0 game for very much longer. Someone's about to break through the way this game's going right now. And sorry everybody, but sometimes I just speak the truth.
Oh.
I couldn't even finish my sentence that I was currently saying, and the Ducks get a really good just forechecking. They're forcing giveaways. Let's see, I think that was Fabro that lost possession. Then Cunnin lost possession, I believe, and they were just caught out of position there, and they just couldn't recover. I mean, they were caught scrambling there. You can't get out of the zone.
That was amazing that you called that.
Well, I mean, I didn't see it coming necessarily that quick, but yeah, that was just you saw it coming though. You sensed the theme, and Raquel gets the goal for the Ducks. He's missed a lot of time for the Ducks this season. He's been with the Ducks for a while. He's one of the few players left on the team that's been around for a minute, and he gets his 5th goal of the season. That was just that was a product of turning over the puck, not being able to get out of your zone. And the Ducks are just a relentless forechecking team, and they forced the giveaway, and Saros is caught in a really bad position. He can't make the save.
Bummer.
Mike Twitter, you called that goal, Chad.
You could just tell something was going to happen.
I felt like one of the teams were going to score. I didn't necessarily say it was going to be the Ducks. I don't want to give myself that much credit, but the trend of the game and the way the second period was going, I felt like someone was about to score the way the game was going. And the Preds just couldn't get it out of their zone. They just can't do it.
Mike Twitter said – I was just going to say Mike Twitter said first game back for Raquel.
Yeah.
There you go.
Witt says, when the Ducks were selling off everyone, I really wanted to see Raquel come over to Nashville. Yeah. He's a good player. He's a good solid. He's one of the very few players that they didn't ship off during their rebuild. Yeah. And so pretty impressive there. So got a media timeout during the game. Gives us some time to throw some love back to DraftKings again. DraftKings is our sponsor. Use our promo code THPN on any NHL game. If the team you choose scores a goal, you win $100 in free bets. That's for all new users. Sign up at DraftKings and use our promo code THPN. Let's look at the NHL scoreboard, shall we?
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
There's a lot of games going on tonight. We got the Blue Jackets beating the Sabres 5-4 halfway through the third period. The Blues and the Golden Knights, that's a game that I was really interested to see how this goes. It's a really fun matchup. Blues, oh my gosh, you're not even at the midway point of regulation, and there's already been 6 goals scored.
Wow.
The Blues are up 4-2 on the Golden Knights right now. After the Golden Knights actually went up 2-0 in this game, and the Blues have now scored 4 unanswered goals.
Wow.
So that's just pretty
That's just what
impressive.
the Preds need on Wednesday is a good ticked-off Golden Knights team.
Right, yeah. And then you've got the Jets up 1-0 on the Penguins. The Penguins have really struggled this year. They have been a big disappointment.
They have.
The Avs and the Senators. The Senators are back on the ice after dealing with their COVID problems.
Yeah.
And their first intermission tied 2-2 with the Colorado Avalanche. And then you still got one more game that hasn't started yet. The Hurricanes take on the Sharks. The 14-2 Hurricanes. That team. Can we just go ahead and count our blessings that the Hurricanes are not in our division anymore?
Oh, yeah. No.
Let's count our blessings on that one. Let's count our blessings on that one. The Preds don't have to play the Hurricanes but one more time this regular season. So that's a good
14
thing.
14-2. That's amazing.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
All right, let's throw out a question to our listeners right now. Our that's participating right now in the live watch along. Who are your 2 Stanley Cup favorites? Pick one in each. Pick one in each conference. Pick who's going to play each other in the Stanley Cup right now. Your prediction and who's going to win that series. Give us your predictions right now. We'll share them. And then myself and Rich will also share our predictions as we watch the second period. Bring them in. Wow. As we watch, let's see. So the Preds are trying to stop the bleeding a little bit here. They're doing a good job. The last thing you want is for one goal to snowball into a bunch of goals, and they've at least done that for now.
Whit says Canes versus a rando.
Okay, so Whit. So Whit, can the Preds count as a rando? That's my question.
Wow.
Nick Cousins just nearly scored. He got in a really good area and missed the net. It looked like I just read his lips. Nick Cousins just said, "My bad."
Hey man. Preds is an ultimate rando.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and say that Witt's prediction is Canes versus Preds because he said rando, and so we're gonna enter the Preds in as that rando. Sorry, Witt. That's your prediction.
So here's another one. He says Knights and Avs are the favorites, but Oilers could just stomp everyone, and Calgary could outwork anyone's games. That's true. Yeah.
It really feels like this is Edmonton's year. It really does.
If it's not.
When is it ever going to be? If the Oilers do not win a Stanley Cup with Draisaitl and McDavid on their team, then they just need to go ahead and send that franchise off to another city. Because that will be the ultimate travesty if they do not win a cup together. Draisaitl and McDavid.
Absolutely. Speaking of them,
not to mention the other really good players they have on that team. It's not like they're the only 2 good players on that team. That roster is ridiculously stacked. So they got to win it. It's cup or bust for them. And if it's not cup or bust, they better at least make it to the Stanley Cup.
Absolutely. I meant to tell you, I was watching Edmonton play, I don't know, last week sometime, and I don't even remember who they were playing, but it went to a shootout. Kyle Turris got the shootout winner.
Good for him.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was good to see him.
You don't really hear about Kyle Turris anymore.
You don't?
He's kind of he probably likes that, to be quite honest, because
he was getting it here, that's for sure.
He caught so much heat here. he just couldn't stay out of it. All right.
The Cup champion, Kyle Turris.
We're getting close to the midway point of regulation. We're about halfway through the second period. Preds have just given up the tying goal to the Ducks on a really good play by the Ducks. They just forced the puck out of the Preds, and the Preds couldn't scramble on defense to keep Saros from giving up that goal. It just was a really tip your cap sometimes. It was a really good goal by the Ducks, honestly. But it feels like the Preds are starting to kind of respond to that here and keep it interesting. Shots are still 18 shots for the Preds, 13 for the Ducks. Yossi just tried to knock a puck into traffic, get one of those cheap goals, as I like to call them, where you just kind of like throw it out from way out and hope that it deflects off something. And Gibson had to make the save. So all those goals count the same, even if they're cheap.
Lindsay says she wants to say the Flames in the Stanley Cup final. Really? I think knew that. We knew that.
All right.
They got a good shot.
So, I mean, the Canes are the easy choice in the East, but my dark horse team, I'm sorry, and it would be so great for the NHL if it happened. Like, it would be a dream scenario for them, is Capitals Oilers.
That would be awesome.
If it was Ovechkin versus McDavid,
that would be amazing.
That would be the NHL's dream Stanley Cup final matchup. The ratings would be insane. And I don't think it's that far-fetched. The Capitals are a good team. Gray-haired Ovechkin is having one of his best seasons ever. Ever.
He is. Yeah. Here's Justin Gambino's prediction. Panthers Knights. Panthers win it. That's good.
That would be that's a good call there. That's a bold one. I like that bold prediction. That's not going with the chalk there.
Yep. Absolutely.
I like that. If the Panthers won the cup, that would be pretty. I don't think they have a cup, so that'd be pretty amazing.
Yeah. Lindsay said she got a text about if the playoffs started today, the Flames would play the Preds. Oof.
Well, yeah. Lucky for us and lucky for Lindsay. There's a lot of time left for that to change.
Absolutely.
I mean, we all know that Lindsay would go for the Flames, and none of us would blame her for that.
No, absolutely not. That's her team. That's her team, man.
She's one of the most diehard hockey fans in general that I've ever seen. Like, she is.
Absolutely.
She is so supportive of that team, and it's very, very impressive, and it's awesome. We love that. You just love to see those diehard fans that just stick by their team. You know, and I find the Flames a pretty likable team, honestly. Like, I mean, I don't think they're a fun team to watch, and it's.
Yeah, Witt says I don't think the Preds are built for a 7-game series versus them. I would agree with that.
Yeah, for sure.
Lindsay also said Panthers in the East, and then that she wants the Oilers to get out in the first round. Well, we know that.
Of course, yeah.
If you no matter what team you like in Canada, usually you don't like the other Canadian teams.
Well, I
think that's my opinion.
Well, and honestly, that's a pretty safe bet by her because for some reason the Oilers just can't figure it out whenever they make it to the playoffs. Like they're a great regular season team, but I can't imagine the frustration that fan base has.
No, I know. Yeah. It's horrible. Justin Gambino said, I think the Canes are too young still to run the gauntlet. They could be. The Preds gave them a lot of trouble last year. They made some moves, but they had a hard time handling the Predators.
So we're getting caught back up on this game here. We're under 10 minutes left in the second. I feel like the Preds have kind of gotten a little bit too I don't want to say boring. I don't know if boring is the right word, but they're just not taking a lot of chances. They're not really getting good, sustained offensive pressure. They're kind of settling for these very low percentage outside shots that are really easy to save. And I really want to see them work the puck a little bit more. And they just don't seem to be doing that right now. They're not really testing John Gibson at all.
Borvieski almost snuck one in there though.
Yeah, but this period's kind of been an equalizer for the Ducks. They've definitely responded like you would expect a team with their record to do.
If they go back to that horrible second period stuff like they did last year, I'm not going to be able to take it. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to take it. Like, that was the worst. It was just like, yeah.
There's no flow to the Preds right now offensively. Like, there's no flow at all. They kind of they look disjointed right now. It might take another power play chance for them to maybe steal back some momentum. The crowd looks really good tonight. There's a really good crowd back in Bridgestone for a Monday night. I was very interested to see what the crowd looked like. I know it's a holiday weekend though, so I'm sure a lot of people are already off work. But
no, that's true.
The crowd looks good though. The crowd looks good.
Yeah. Can't wait to go back.
All right, so coming up here, let's see. The Preds, let's look at their upcoming schedule here. You were saying they got the Golden Knights on Wednesday. Ugh.
Yeah. So
it's never.
I actually went I actually went to a Golden Knights game in 2019, and it was that one where they lost with the last second shot by the Vegas. It was heartbreaking, man. Heartbreaking, that's for sure.
Well, you want to talk about a crazy atmosphere? The Vegas Golden Knights home games, I heard, are just wild.
Yes, I agree.
I'm sure there will be a lot of Golden Knights fans at the game on Wednesday.
Mike Twitter is asking me, do I drive to Nashville or fly? Drive. It's only like 2 hours.
From where?
From Louisville. Well, I live south of Louisville.
Oh, yeah. He's asking you. I thought he was
me. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I thought he was asking. I thought he was asking if he should. And I don't know if Mike Twitter. I don't know if for some reason I was like, does Mike Twitter live in San Francisco since he's a Giants fan? I'm like, Rich, that's a lot longer than a 2-hour drive.
Absolutely.
I don't know what GPS. Rich, I don't know what GPS you're using, but it's a lot further than 2 hours.
My GPS is broke. But we just drive down. We drive down. It's 2 hours.
It's an easy drive too. Yeah, it's a super easy drive.
We go early and find somewhere new to eat that we haven't been to.
And between Louisville and Nashville, you pretty much don't pass anything of significance as far as landmarks. It's a straight shot. No big cities to drive through.
Yeah. Nothing. Corvette Museum. That's about it.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. There's just, you don't really pass much at all. It's just a straight shot. Easy drive. Yeah.
Oh, Mike Twitter lives in New York City area.
Okay. Jersey. Well, it's definitely further than 2 hours as well.
New Jersey.
All right. So we've got 7 minutes left in the second period here.
Man, this is flying by.
It's because you're having so much fun, Rich.
It is. Lindsay says she thinks she's the farthest. Yeah, I'd say so. Drive. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I wouldn't make that drive unless you. I mean, I love road trips. Don't get me wrong.
I do too.
Road trips are my favorite. Like road trips are my favorite because I have my go-to snacks that I get.
Oh man.
I load up. I go to the gas station. I load up on beef jerky. I load up on popcorn. I get me a couple energy drinks. I just love it. I love everything about road trips, which is weird because I actually hate traffic. So you would think that I would hate road trips, but for some reason it's different for me.
You hate traffic and you live in Nashville. That's funny.
Oh yeah, don't even get me started on that one.
Worse, yeah.
Deal with it every day.
So we were talking about landmarks between here and Nashville. What says you just gonna ignore Dinosaur World like that? I forgot about Dinosaur World. Yeah, man, that's right in. Right in Cave City or Horse Cave, one of those two.
Every exit, there's a big billboard that says "Visit Rock City" or "Visit whatever
Rock
it is."
City, and yeah.
Ooh,
what do we got going on? Oh,
Pred's going back on the power play. Ducks are not happy about it.
Yeah, it's a trip.
I didn't see. I missed it. I missed the penalty.
I don't know the names of the Anaheim players. But
this is another major turning point in the game right here.
Oh, he's mad too. Zeg, how you say his name? Zegras.
I don't know, but he's one of their. I know he's one of their younger. He's definitely one of their younger players. He's only 20 years old. He's only got 40 games in the NHL. He's still a very young player, but he's got 10 points on the season. So he's one of those young Ducks players that are playing really well and helping this team be as successful as they've been so far.
Yeah.
So
Lindsay says best road trips. Oh, Witt says Zegras.
All right. So it's one of those few hockey names that looks exactly like it spells.
That's right. Absolutely.
I've made the mistake too many times of pronouncing hockey names like they spell, and I'm always dead wrong.
And the jury's still out on Afanasiev. I've heard it two ways.
I say Afanasiev. I don't know. It's fun.
Yeah.
All right. So as the second period ends, we want to tell everyone to stay tuned because it is Monday, and we did not forget about our good buddy Kyle Perkins, who will be joining for another edition of Perks Picks. If you're new to the podcast, every Monday we do an edition of Perks Picks with Kyle Perkins, who is a big part of the podcast. We love him. He's awesome. He knows so much about hockey. He's a really funny guy as well. He's a good friend of the show. And he brings his top picks of the past week in Preds hockey every Monday. He's going to do that for us during the second intermission. So stay tuned for that, because he will be close to be joining us for the second intermission.
Whit says, you all are right on how to pronounce Afanasiev. Yeah, I looked it up on YouTube and heard like some foreign people calling the game. So.
Rich, you should have just said, I looked it up on the internet.
Oh, I said that one time.
Whenever someone tries to sound smart about something, they just say, I looked it up on the internet. It told me.
That's right. It told me, the interwebs.
Yeah,
That's
the interwebs, yeah.
Oh,
I read a book. I read a book one time, and it told me that. Once again, the Preds are getting a lot of really good looks on the power play, but they just cannot beat John Gibson right now. He cannot be beaten. Matt Duchene once again gets robbed by John Gibson tonight. Let's see.
Oh, come on.
Granlund with a slick feed behind the net to find Duchene, and
he got to get those passes.
It wasn't the hardest shot or the fastest shot, so I think it was a little easier for Gibson to stop that. But interesting moment there. Duchene ends up inadvertently ends up in the arms of Getzlaf. They kind of had a little bit of a gamesmanship moment there. Of course, Preds fans know all about Ryan Getzlaf. No love lost there.
That's good to see. I like.
Oh! I think we all know what that means.
We know what that sound is. Who is it?
It is Granny.
Bang.
Granny is getting in on the action.
Awesome.
Granny said, you know what, Duchene? If you're not going to score on my slick feed behind the net, then I'm just going to do it my damn self.
So we're gonna say the
dude, that was
wow.
That was a freaking laser.
Oh my gosh, what a snipe. That was amazing.
And they expect these goalies to make saves like that. That's
so we're gonna say the obligatory.
Okay, so
our Granny's better than your Granny.
So Granny just pinpointed that goal so perfectly in the top corner that it bounced out from behind the goal and back out in front of Gibson so quick.
Oh my god!
That I don't even think Gibson even realized it had hit him until it was in front of him again. Like, it was that quick of a shot. What a goal from Mikael Granlund. Wow.
Here's Witt's reaction. The finish. Yes.
I like it.
We like it.
I don't think there's ever been a hockey team in the history of hockey teams that can say they have a Granny that can score goals.
Probably not.
We're the first team to ever be able to say that.
Yeah.
And yes to all the haters out there, we will hang a banner that says that. And we'll be proud of it.
Of course.
If Bridgestone Arena hung a banner that said our Granny's better than your Granny, oh my gosh, I would love that.
Oh, I'd love that. That would be amazing.
Ooh, no. Ducks had a really good response there, but Saros was sharp. All right.
We'll take it.
Let's get it. Let's get to this. Let's figure out a way to get to this second intermission with the lead. That's all we need here.
We'll take it. Come on, boys.
Witt's bringing all the knowledge tonight, by the way. So Witt says his brother Marcus scored some goals in the league. Okay. Marcus Granlund. Okay.
I wonder what his nickname was.
He might have been Granny as well. Maybe he was the first Granny. Who knows?
He might have been.
It's a good trivia question.
Come on, guys, just get out of this period.
So that's actually only Granlund's 4th goal of the year. Granlund's piled up the assist this year, but he's not been a big goal scorer just yet. But that's okay. So the Preds finally cracked through on the power play. They're 1 out of 4. They're now 1 out of 4 on the power play. So if you're going to be the second-ranked power play in the league, you got to eventually crack through when you're getting all these power play opportunities. And
absolutely,
they managed to finally do that. And they've been getting opportunities all night on the power play. It's not like their power play hasn't been productive with their possession or anything. It's just they have not been able to crack through. So seeing Granlund put that shot up like that is a big sigh of relief.
Absolutely. Whit says cap friendly stays open. Yes, I always use hockey reference, but yeah, cap friendly as well.
Johansson gets the assist on that power play goal from Granlund, so a 2-point night for Johansson going right now.
We'll take it.
You just love seeing these top players do what they're doing. Like it's so huge for this Preds team, and it was a big reason why nobody, including myself, felt strongly about their chances this season. Was I didn't necessarily believe in the top core of their lineup.
Yep.
Producing like they're producing. I didn't see it happening. I didn't trust it. I didn't feel good about it, but they've proven me wrong so far. And that's why the Preds are where they're at right now. That's why they've managed to get off to a fairly decent start and get off better to a start than what many thought they would.
Mm-hmm. And we've talked about it before. It's been 2 or 3 seasons we've been looking for that, and we finally are seeing some of it, and they just need to continue to do that. We've been hurt in the past for the past few seasons waiting for these guys to produce like this. So,
yep. Justin Gambino. Let's see. He says Duchesne continuing his point per game pace too. Oh, he said okay. Yeah, he meant to say Joey. Yeah, but still, Duchesne's still having a really good game. He hasn't gotten on the score sheet yet, but he still had some opportunities. He definitely hasn't been invisible out there. I've seen Duchesne do a lot of good things tonight.
Mm-hmm. Whit says, called in on Twitter, Duchesne and Granny are going to briskly walk past the Preds single-season points record this year.
How crazy would it be if 2 players in the same season break the record?
That would be insane.
That would be wild.
We'll take it. Justin said, never mind, it was Joey. Yeah, we got
All right, we're going to make a Catfish on Ice podcast shirt that just says in quotes, we'll take it.
I know. I've said that like 10 times.
Well, hey, I mean, it's fair. It's a fair point.
Yeah. It's just like you said, we didn't expect a start like this, and we are pleasantly surprised. So anything that we get now is just like icing on the cake after what we kind of predicted would happen. So
for sure.
Definitely.
All right. So we got we're returning to action here in the second period. Preds up 2-1. They've really responded to adversity well tonight, which is the biggest takeaway I have from the team.
Yeah, it's definitely good to see them get back on the.
Sports is sharing a really good stat here. Points production in 9 games since Forsberg was injured. Matt Duchesne with 12 points, Granlund with 11, Yossi with 8. The rest of the team has 30 points collectively. So that's an interesting stat there. I think that tells you that it's been a team effort. It's been a collective team effort in filling in for Forsberg. There's not really one player that's just like, this player is the reason why. I feel like it's been a pretty good collective effort. Although you can probably argue that if you're going to pick one, it's probably Matt Duchesne. But it's been a pretty good collective effort. The fact that you've got 30 points collectively from the rest of the team in 9 games with Forsberg out, which is kind of wild to think that it's already been 9 games since Forsberg.
It doesn't seem like it.
It does not.
Are you a little nervous him coming back? Or are you going to be?
I'm not nervous. No, I'm very optimistic about it. I'm going to be really happy to have him back, and I think that Michael McCarron needs to be the player that comes out.
Yep, I agree.
I think that's the easy choice. I don't know who else you would take out. I'll be really upset if they take out Novak again.
Yeah.
I do like McCarron. This isn't me saying that McCarron's been awful and he's not been impressive, because he has been. He's played his role pretty well, but come on now. This team needs offense. This team needs offensive playmakers. The Novak has proven that he can be a very vital piece to the depth of the scoring. And so you take McCarron out and you put Forsberg in when he's ready. And I'm expecting Forsberg to be ready hopefully by Friday against the New Jersey Devils. That's what I'm expecting.
I know you already saw it, but Saros was really far away from the net on that save.
he does that sometimes. Sometimes
makes me nervous.
Sometimes Saros gets way too far out there, and it just really freaks me out.
That's the end of it.
All right, second intermission. Preds up 2-1. We're gonna get ready here to take another break. On the other side, Kyle Perkins will be joining us. Again, we appreciate everyone joining us. Real quick, before we go to the break, Rich, give me your top takeaways from the second period.
Good to see him. Like we talked about, the second periods are usually where they kind of have a lull, but not this time. They got it back together and got the goal, man. It's awesome. Good to see him get that. I was afraid that once Anaheim got that equalizer that it was going to start a bad trend, but so far so good. They usually play better in the third. So maybe they can get a couple more.
Very true. I think that was definitely a period where Saros had to do UC Saros things, and he was very strong in that period. And then Granlund gets that goal, big time there. On the other side, we will talk more stats, what's going on with the game. We will also hit some other NHL news and notes, and we've got Kyle Perkins joining us for Perks Picks. So stay tuned for that. Join us on the other side of the break. We'll be right back. We're going to take a quick break here. We're going to do what we got to do, and we'll see you on the other side. Please don't go anywhere. Come back and join us for the third period of Catfish on Ice, episode 82 of the Watchalong with the Nashville Predators against the Anaheim Ducks. All right, welcome back to the Watchalong of Catfish on Ice, episode 82, as we watch the Nashville Predators take on Anaheim Ducks. The first time these two old-time rivals have played each other since January 5th of 2020. Pete Laulette's last game as head coach of the Nashville Predators. This game's going a lot better, it feels like, Rich, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. So far.
All right, so the Preds are up. Preds are up 2-1 here. Rich, kind of give us some stats here as we go through the second intermission. Kind of like let's look through the box score here. Let's look through some key stats and kind of give us some takeaways here.
Let's see. So we got Predators leading shots on goal 24-16. That's good. Anaheim is now winning faceoff percentage 54% to 45%. Predators scored on the power play, which is amazing. Anaheim has 8 penalty minutes to the Predators 2, so that's good. Predators lead 9 hits to 6, but Anaheim is leading in blocks 8-5. So big third period. Got to close this one out.
It's been a pretty closely contested game for sure. And with that, we got Kyle Perkins joining us. He's going to be with us for the rest of the game for the watch along here. I'm really excited to watch a Preds game live with Kyle Perkins. I got to admit,
I know, right?
This will be fun.
It'll either be really fun or you'll have to make some bleeps.
Nah.
All right, I'll look up some sound effects here, but I gotta say we're not on a 5-second delay here. We are not on a 5-second delay.
I see Lindsay's chat.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Lindsay.
Hello, Lindsay.
Yeah, Lindsay's in. Lindsay is in. Lindsay's been awesome. We've had a lot of really awesome listeners tonight get in on the live watch along. We can't thank them enough for that. It's been a really fun night doing this watch along. And it's even more fun because the Preds are winning 2-0. Let's keep up the good mojo. Let's keep it going. Second intermission time. With that, Terry Chris will keep me company while I was away. That's from Mike Twitter. Well, guess what? Terry Chris, we can't hold a candle to Terry Chris. So
no.
if you got to break away and watch Terry Chris, we will not blame you for that at all. All right.
Yep.
So with that, let's get into every Monday. If you're new to the podcast, if you're watching the stream, if you're listening to the next day, every Monday we do Perks Picks with Kyle Perkins. He joins, gives us his top picks from the last week of Predators hockey. This week, I'm really, really nervous and scared to see what he's got in store for us because all I can think about was Saturday and that debacle.
Hot garbage.
Luckily, I couldn't watch the game live because I had to work, and it's the first time in my life I've ever said that I'm glad I was at work and didn't get to watch my Nashville Predators. But oh my gosh! But before we get into that, let's get Kyle Perkins' Perks picks. Let's get his first pick of the week.
Try that again. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay, good. All right. Yeah, that game was ugly. Like bad, ugly. But we're going to start out with a positive one, and I know this is going to make Lindsay happy. David Riddick came in and was perfect in relief. UC was struggling. He was definitely having a rough go of things. It was bad. It was really, really, really bad. And he came in and kind of saved the day. It could have been real, real ugly, and they didn't necessarily start playing any better in front of him than they were doing in front of UC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he came in relief, and Saros knows how that feels because in his early part of his career, he had to come in relief for Pekka plenty of times. So it happens to the best of them.
Yeah, that's part of it. When you've got that starting that backup job, you've got to be ready to go whenever the things just go wrong.
So we talked about it earlier, Kyle. So after Saros had two or three go in, do you agree he was just shell shocked and like there wasn't anything else he was going to be able to do?
He was off his game. It affected him very. You don't see that very often.
Mm-mm.
especially with Saros. He's normally very, very calm and collected, but he was obviously off of his game after those first couple went in, and then the team just wasn't playing in front of him. So if they're not, there's no reason to leave him in to see if it might get better.
Yeah. Oh no.
Um, so another thing about that game on Saturday, uh, Money Puck. I use them a lot for stats and stuff of that like. They have their deserve to win o meter,
Yeah, I love that.
and it was 66% deserve to win for the Preds versus 33.5 for the Habs.
Yep.
So
Whoa,
that's just depressing when you
that
when you
is.
look
Yeah.
at that.
Yeah. That
Oh,
was.
I mean, can you pick a weirder game than a game where you lose to the Abs? They're up what 5-0 at one point, and then Matt Duchene just decides to drop a hat trick in the third period on you just to make things even more weird. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Soros gets chased out of the game. I mean, talk about a weird game that yeah. I didn't even know to look at. I looked at the box. Like literally, I did not get to watch 1 second live of the game. I had to go back and watch it later. And I'm looking at this box score. First, I see 6-3. That's what you see first, and I'm like, wow, like okay, that's like pretty bad in itself. But then I start looking through, like, okay, who scored first? Who like yada yada yada, and I see it was 5-0 at one point, and then wait a minute, Matt Duchene scores once. Matt Duchene scores twice. No, he scores 3 times. I'm like, what was going on?
Yeah, I tweeted out Matt Duchene makes an embarrassing situation look a little bit less embarrassing.
Yeah,
it was
that
bad.
he saved the day on that one quite a bit.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it was just because they're bad. The Habs are not a good team, although they did get
No.
shellacked by the Penguins a couple of days before that.
7-0.
I think that had a lot to do with it. So
All right, go ahead
They
with
were
your next
definitely-
pick, Kyle.
all right, my next pick is Ellie Tolvanen. So Ellie's been very, very invisible as far as the score sheet goes. He is the worst goals above expected on the team with 2.1. But he is fourth on tied for fourth on the team with expected goals per 60 of 0.86. Which, when you start looking through the stuff, and I know Boyd from
Penalty box.
penalty box.
Penalty
Yeah,
box
I went
rating.
blank. I've had a wild afternoon. I had 2 kids in school plays, and then my Twitter got hacked, and been trying to get back. So, yeah.
Well, I'm glad you didn't lose your Twitter, because I've actually heard of horror stories of people actually losing their whole Twitter and having to create a whole one.
Jeremy Gover just had it happen to him. So
yeah,
I saw that.
I know. I saw that. Yeah.
So I've been kind of freaked out about that, and it's been a wild afternoon. But Boyd talks about all the time on Twitter, if you follow him, is Tolvanen's shooting percentage. His shooting percentage on the year right now is 2.4%. That is not a number that's going to sustain for him.
No. I was just about to say, I've been saying this for a couple of weeks now. I'm waiting for Tolvanen to just have that breakout game or have that breakout stretch of games, really. And I've been trying to speak it into existence, and it just hasn't happened. But I mean, he's had a decent night so far. I mean, he had a decent first period where he had 3 shots on goal. He drew that first penalty of the game. So, I mean, he's doing some decent things. I definitely wouldn't say he's been invisible tonight. But like you said, he just can't find the score sheet. Like, he just can't do it.
No. If you look back last year, and you remember his last few games were pretty rough as far as shooting goes. He was still at 16.9% shooter last year. Also, he had 65 total shots in 40. in 40 games played last year. He has 42 shots in 17 games played this year. So he's trying. The effort's there and the talent's there. It's just he is snake bit as all get out right.
Mm-hmm.
So I
He's
don't know
just got
what
to
you do to
keep.
help fix that.
He's just got to keep plugging away. I mean, you got to think his luck will turn around eventually.
Yeah, you got to think that's one of them. And you can also lump Tomasino in this same conversation because he's had 2 breakaways where he tried to do one too many fancy stick moves and just lost the puck as he's getting to the goaltender. And it's just like, oh, Phil. And then actually you can add another one to that, and he's had a couple of attempts tonight, and that's Tommy Novak. Tommy Novak is that close to scoring his first NHL goal so many times.
Yeah,
and I'm so glad he's back in the lineup. I really think he deserves to.
We were talking about that earlier. We were really puzzled by the decision to take Novak out. Like I didn't feel like he had done anything to really make sense of it. And so now we were talking about it earlier, and we're going to ask. I want to go ahead and ask you, Kyle, what you think about it now that we have this news about Phil Forsberg having a high probability of returning to the lineup this week. I mean, I feel like the easy answer is take Michael McCarron out and put Forsberg in, and then you've got your lineup that you should try to stick with for the long haul. But
I think that's the only answer.
But do we really think it's not an easy answer? It feels like Hines always throws us a curveball, and so I would be shocked if that's not what he goes with. But I mean, I don't know.
I would be shocked too. I think the lineup tonight, but adding the Forsberg back in and removing McCarron, that's probably your best bet for success with what this team has. And another one of the lineup things that, I really like seeing Johansson with Tomasino and Tolvanen. But, Johansson with Tomasino and Jeannot and Johansson just seem to have a chemistry.
Yeah.
Jeannot assisted on Johansson's goal earlier again.
Yep.
Those two guys seemed. Yes, it was. Those two guys just seem to have something clicking, and they just seem like they're rolling well together.
Both Preds goals tonight are like chef's kiss, like just beautiful.
And Ryan Johansson's involved on both of them, and I love it because I have been a Ryan Johansson stan for the last 2 years and took all the flack. So
he's such a likable player. He's such a likable guy. He carries himself like a true leader. He's very classy. He's very hardworking. He's no nonsense. You just the only criticism you could give to him was, yes, you're not performing like a top line player, which was understood. But it's nice to seeing him have this production again. We were talking about it earlier. Second period's about to start, but we're going to still keep rolling with your picks. But also, let's get caught up with some of these comments. Mike Twitter, okay, Preds back on the ice for period 3. Ryan Johansson is the Hunt brother player of the game. All right, so for no one that watches the local Preds Valley broadcast, the Hunt brother, that's Hunt Brothers Pizza, which is their sponsor. And some people might not know what Hunt brother meant, but yeah, he's the Hunt brother player of the game. And let's see, Mike Twitter, you guys enter this every game. You think he's saying do we do this? We definitely don't do this every game. This is we're going to try to do this once a month. So we'll definitely do it again this season, but this is not an every game thing right now. Yep. But we do enjoy doing it. It's a lot of fun.
Oh my gosh, this is so much fun. Yeah.
All right, let's get as this third period gets underway. If anything big happens, we will of course talk about it. Keep commenting on the live game. We appreciate it. Kyle, in the meantime, let's get your next pick.
So I wrote these earlier today, and this one has already been proven wrong. And it's actually a good one for once. And that was I know I talk about Tanner Jeannot a lot, but he had no points in the last 3 games. So, of course, I have this wrote down to talk about. He goes out and gets a point in the first period. So that makes that point a little moot. But
No,
either
it's
way,
still
he had a
valid.
little bit of a
Hey, it's still valid because we're reacting to last week, and what you said is still very valid. Like he did go through a cool off period for a little bit.
so I think the line moves on Saturday were a lot of a problem.
Yes.
So we'll see how that goes. My next one is shoot with an exclamation point. The Predators are being outshot 475 to 522.
No,
It seems like
I didn't know the I didn't know the exact total, but that sound makes it sound even worse.
yeah, if you look in general, they get outshot most every night by a fairly decent margin. I'm really surprised. I'm trying to watch. I've got it brought up on my phone down here, so I'm trying to watch it down here. Uh, Nashville's actually leading in shots tonight, and I'm very surprised by that,
Yeah.
especially against Anaheim. Anaheim's been a kind of a offensive little powerhouse this year, so
Yeah. The Ducks are 6th in the league coming into the game in goals per game at 3.39. I think a big key of this game has been that the Preds, knock on wood, have only been to the penalty box once. So that's big.
that's
amazing.
huge.
Yeah.
That is absolutely huge.
They've played pretty disciplined tonight. They really have. Like they've played smart, and I'm sure it's been a point of emphasis, which it needs to be. So, and then the one penalty that they did take was quickly erased because they drew a penalty. So the Ducks weren't even on the power play for very long. And that penalty, I said it earlier, that penalty they took earlier, it was Jeannot's penalty. I felt like that was one of those instances where it was kind of a necessary penalty. Like the defense broke down. Saros was kind of like flailing, was out of position. Ducks were clamping in. And sometimes you just have to take a penalty and trust your penalty kill to make a decision or make a move. So in that sense, I felt like the Preds took a necessary penalty in a bad spot.
Most likely. Sometimes you've got to throw your body out there and try to stop them because that's the only choice you have. Unfortunately,
I like this comment. I like this comment here from Witt, who's just been on fire tonight. Witt's just like been killing it with his comments tonight. But Witt says Jeannot is the Watson Poyle always wished he had drafted.
Yeah, so we were talking about signed pucks. A couple of the people in here have won like the first goal contest. And I was telling them I bought a mystery puck and I have it over here on the shelf. And I was like, oh, cool. I got it in the mail. And it was a signed Austin Watson puck. And I was like, thanks. That's cool, I guess. It's cool.
It's still a signed puck. It's still cool.
It is. It's great. I don't mind it at all. But I was just like.
But that is a really funny comparison from Witt as far as like because Watson tried to play that way. Watson never saw a fight he couldn't win, but unfortunately he lost pretty much every fight. So.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
lost fights and teeth.
And the thing is, Watson was a first-round draft pick.
Yeah, that's crazy.
18th overall.
The only thing I'll give Watson credit for was he was a hell of a shot blocker. Like he would lay his body out there, and he took some wicked slap shots to the chest and to the shins. And I will not ever overlook the fact that Watson was definitely the type of player that would put his body out there. So I don't want to completely.
Oh yeah.
But as far as being a first round pick, he was definitely not what you would consider a good first round. Oh no! A huge steal and breakaway opportunity. I'm trying to see which player that was. Was that Novak? That had a chance. They'll show a replay on that. I'm pretty sure that was Novak that tripped over his own feet, and he had a walk-away, open, breakaway goal chance. And I'm pretty sure that was Novak. I might be wrong, but it looked like it was Novak. We'll have to wait for a replay
Wow.
on that.
Oh, I just now saw it. My stream is way behind.
Well, mine's more behind than yours. Oh, there it is. Yep. Oh, he tripped. Oh, man. Bummer.
Was that Novak? I mean, I'm pretty sure that was Novak. It flashed pretty quick there. We'll have to wait for the replay.
So
you know that's
confirm
going to be on the images that precede unfortunate hockey events Twitter.
Oh yeah. Or it might even make SportsCenter top 10, not top 10, if that's still a thing.
Dang
I don't
it.
know if it is.
So
Steve Dangles, dang
or
it.
what's the oh no. What was the NFL one where it was like
Come on, man.
Come on, man. That's what it was. And we have a come on, man right now because the Ducks just tied it.
Oh, come on, man.
That is one of those. What?
I'm still waiting.
Oh no! Pinball goal. Oh, you guys are gonna shake your head on that one.
I'm still waiting for it to catch up.
The puck bounced off two different Preds players to beat Saros. It bounced off Yossi and then bounced off Fabro and then got past Saros.
Good Lord.
Is there a goaltender in this league that has worse luck when it comes to friendly fire?
Hmm.
Oh my gosh. That is the true definition.
Oh, Lord. That is terrible.
That is the true definition of a pinball style goal right there. Like it literally pinballed off two different Preds players and went past Saros.
Mike Twitter, Saros has so many bad luck goals like that. Yes, he does.
I remember
And
those.
unfortunately, unfortunately, if you look at box score and you don't actually look at how the goal was scored, you're going to say, "Oh, Saros has given up 2 goals and 18 shots. That's another bad night for him so far." Whereas reality, he's played pretty good for the most part. So it's tough.
So we'll talk about something happy to get out of this.
Let's get another.
That's a good idea.
The game is tied 2-2. Kyle Perkins is about to bring us some happy news.
So Matt Duchene is tied for 5th in the league in goals, and before tonight's games at 12 goals. Alex Ovechkin has 14.
There you go.
I'm not saying he's Ovi, but I'm saying he's having a
Gray
pretty
haired
dang good year.
We got to put important context on there. Gray-haired, old and gray Alex Ovechkin. Mind you.
Yes, elderly Alex Ovechkin with his cane out there and probably a walker.
I mean, gray-haired Ovechkin's probably my favorite Ovechkin of all time, though. Like, I mean, you look at throughout his career, he's had all these different looks, but gray-haired Ovechkin is like, it's seeing him just dominate like he's doing right now is just, I can't even put words around it. But the fact that Duchene's right there with 12 goals is just, wild.
Here, Whit has something happy for us. An embarrassing Stars own goal. Yes.
I'll take that all day.
Give us all that, please.
Yeah.
I came across a really interesting before we go ahead there with your perks picks here. Did you guys come across the graphic here from Ovechkin? They shared how many goals Ovechkin scored against every NHL team.
I saw that.
And so he scored 13 goals again in 21 career games against the Preds. Does anyone trivia time? Someone take a guess right now. You can also take a guess if you're in the chat right now. Don't cheat. Which team has Alex Ovechkin scored the most career goals against?
Wow.
Nobody cheat. I wouldn't have gotten this right. I'll be honest. Just say a team. Say your first guess.
Devils.
Okay. Rich?
Man, that's tough.
You know it's got to be an Eastern Conference team, so at least you can cut out half the league, basically.
Is it Pittsburgh?
It's a good guess. Has anyone? Let's check the comments real quick here before I just reveal the answer. All right. All right, Lindsay says, isn't it Tampa Bay? Justin Gambino guesses the Devils. Let's see. All right, we're going to go ahead and reveal it. Whitsy guessed the Canes. It is the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Wow.
They had a lot of bad years.
49 goals in 74 career games against the Lightning, 48 goals in 67 career games against the Jets / Atlanta Thrashers. Long live the Atlanta Thrashers. Rest in peace. And then the Canes are third. Canes are third with 43 goals. I would have probably guessed the Pittsburgh Penguins, honestly. So that was a good guess. But it's the Tampa Bay Lightning. But, yeah, that was a really cool graphic I came across earlier.
Yeah,
he's got a goal. He's got a goal against every current franchise. So, yeah, pretty cool.
And you just know they're coming, too. That's what's funny.
Kyle, do you got another pick for us?
That was my 5. So that was my top 5 picks.
Oh, nice. All right. Another really awesome edition of Perks Picks this week on this Monday, episode 82 of Catfish on Ice, our first ever live watch-along. We picked the Ducks to do this, and it's just perfect because it's been a really good game. We picked a really good game to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Now we just need the Preds to go ahead and win because if the Preds lose tonight, we're never doing another one of these ever again. I can promise you. And we already know Rich isn't allowed to watch Preds games at his in-laws anymore.
Nope. Nope. Oh, yeah, you weren't on. Yeah, so I was at my in-laws watching the Habs game.
Apparently bad things happen every time Rich watches the Preds at his in-laws. So
it really sucks, too, because my father-in-law has got like a 70-inch TV. It's really awesome.
Oh, you're just going to have to plan accordingly from now on. You're just going to have to plan accordingly from now on. All right, we got a 2-2 game right now. Kyle's going to stay with us for the duration of the game and the episode. We, again, appreciate everyone joining us for episode 82, this live watch-along against the hated Anaheim Ducks. And there's Ryan Getzlaf rocking the mustache as the Ducks tied it at 2-2. I'll never, ever be able to stomach the Ducks being good at anything, even though, the rivalry has really died. It's really not what it used to be.
Right.
But if you're a lifelong Predators fan, it's so deeply rooted in you to not like the Ducks because you remember those battles when the Ducks were a really, really great team and the Preds were trying to get over that hump. And those Ducks teams were dirt. They were – you had Ryan Kessler. Ryan Kessler and Ryan Johansson went at it. They had a really big rivalry, personal rivalry, if anyone remembers. Of course, Corey Perry was on the Ducks. And then you had, who's the other guy? I'm leaving out. Ryan Getzlaf, of course. But they had another guy that was really not liked at all. But that team was just full of goons.
Yeah.
And so you just never forget about that. You never forget about that as a Predators fan. So even though the rivalry is really not as exciting as it used to be, it's still a rivalry. It still really sticks out.
So Witt says, guys, what's the over-under on Corey Perry getting a game misconduct for the second Preds outdoor game in a row? Probably pretty good.
I really hope it's not because that means somebody's hurt.
That's true. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, we don't need that.
Yeah.
We don't need that.
And then here's your Ugg Perry, yes sir.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's gosh, man, that was kind of the beginning of the end for Ryan Ellis in a Preds uniform, unfortunately.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, we were talking about the Stadium Series earlier because Lindy was asking what she thinks the Preds uniforms are going to look like. Kyle, let's get your thoughts on that. What kind of design or color scheme? What are you hoping to see out of the Stadium Series uniform that the Preds come out with?
Well, going off of the logo and a lot of the merchandise I've seen advertised for it, I'm thinking it's going to be navy blue. And I kind of hope they go off the neon motif that all the Stadium Series logo and everything, like the piping and stuff on the jersey. If they could do something like that, only bringing in the neon type look to it, I think that would be kind of neat. If they do it right. If they do it wrong, it's going to be awful.
Yeah. And the whole neon sign thing plays off of Broadway because Broadway's notorious for all the signs, loaded up, kind of like stretching all down Broadway. So the logo itself for the Stadium Series was really cool.
Yeah, I really
I
like
love
that.
Yeah,
but
that was
I really hope it's navy
really
blue.
well done. Yeah, it would make sense. Tie it into the Titans a little bit if you want, and I can't wait to see that atmosphere at Nissan Stadium. I'm really hoping the Preds are playing competitive hockey at that point. They're not like fading fast. Because the last thing I need to see is on the fence Preds fans sell all their tickets to Lightning fans, and it turns into an away game. That's because I'll tell you, I really think that Tampa Bay will show up with a really big crowd. I expect that.
Oh, you know it.
It's an easy trip. It's an easy trip for them. Even though it probably is kind of hard to ask someone from Tampa Bay to make the trip to Nashville in February. That's probably not like weather-wise.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, though, we need Preds fans to hold on to those tickets and have a reason to hold on to those tickets. And hopefully that means the team is still playing very well and they're competitive at that point.
I don't know if you just saw it, but Duchesne just about got another one.
He's had a good night. Duchesne's been there. He's been in the action. He's just, he's just missed it. He's been right there, but he's just missed it. He's had a good game. I think he's had a strong game. It's just not really showing up in the box score. But we got about 10 minutes left in the period.
Yeah.
So it's still a 2-2. It's as a 2-2 game. The Preds are finally out shooting the opponent for a change. They're up 31 shots on goal, 20 shots on goal for the Ducks. So
the line that is out right now, unless they're in the middle of a change, is Johansson, Duchesne, and Tolvanen. So that could be interesting. But I think they might have been changing. So
they might have been.
I see Sissons out there, so yeah, they were changing.
Oh no! Oh no!
5 minutes later, we'll find out what happened.
False alarm! No goal! False alarm! No goal!
But Chad, pause yours for like 30 seconds.
I can't help it. It's so natural. I can't help it though. Like, if you'll see why I said, "Oh no."
I can guess.
Yeah, Saros just had to be like ridiculous again. Like you see the Ducks only have 21 shots on goal, and you're like, oh, Saros can't be having that bad of a night. Like, yeah, you can't be under that much duress, but like,
yeah,
he still had to make us some clutch saves tonight.
Oh, yep, there's one. Wow.
I don't like where this period's trending right now for the Preds. They're kind of on their heels again.
Here you
go. I don't like it at all.
Lindsay, stop scaring us, Chad.
I'm sorry, Lindsay. I speak the truth here, and I just don't like. I feel like they're on their heels. I feel like they're kind of chasing the puck right now. Is what I see.
Yeah.
The Ducks are dictating what they want to do, and the Preds are just kind of chasing them around.
Chad, what's the time left in the period on your stream right now?
Oh gosh, I'm going to reveal it. There's 8 minutes and 20 seconds left.
No, I'm at 8:55.
Oh no! Wow.
Yeah,
why am I so?
I'm at 9:15.
You're at what?
9:15.
Oh wow!
Oh no, We're going to ruin the whole game for Kyle.
Yep.
All right.
That's funny.
All right, now I'm at 8:28.
Oh, me too.
Well, there's a timeout now on the ice, so.
All right. That's funny.
All right. While we're waiting for this to happen here, another topic we can bring up that we talked about earlier before Kyle joined, and I want to get Kyle's thoughts on this. I think that Matt Duchesne is realistically – I kind of gave a little bit of a wide estimate, but I think Duchesne realistically will crack 40 goals this season. He'll easily break the record, single-season record for the Preds, which is only 34 goals. That's a really low number, honestly, compared to most teams. And then, how many – do you think that's a realistic, or do you think he can even go higher?
I don't know if he'll go higher, but I think it's really at this point with the goals he scored, it's a realistic expectation. I don't think it's out of I mean, when you look around the
I'm
NHL,
a
34 goals is not a huge number.
It's not that much. That's what I'm saying. It's so wild. Okay, I'm grinning into ear to ear, and I've tried to keep my composure. I can't do it anymore. The Preds have the lead.
Look at there, Mike Twitter, bang. Chad's mom.
Trennan.
And you want to talk about a bang?
Finally.
Hey, Yakov Trennan, the Yak Attack is loose tonight. He is having himself a game.
I missed it.
So he went.
I think Yakov. If the Preds can figure out a way to win this game,
he stole the puck, took it down, and scored it all by him, big boy self. Look at that!
Boys.
Go ahead. If the Preds win, go ahead and give Yakov Trennan that top star because he has been.
Oh, you gotta love that, man.
He has been the best player on ice. He's been the best player.
I love his celebration because he just throws the arms up and dives into the glass at the end.
That always makes me so nervous. When he does that, it makes me nervous though. I always feel like he's gonna like sprain something or hurt his wrist or something.
Yeah. By the way,
that doesn't happen.
He throws himself into the boards really violently.
He's a big boy though, so.
But it is a great celebration, though. It is an awesome celebration. Another thing I love about Trennan is when he scores, I mean, it's emphatic. It's just there's no finesse to it. It's just I'm just going to blast it so hard past you. The hockey equivalent of a slam dunk is when Yakov Trennan scores.
Yep.
By the way, Kyle, I want to let you know real quick, Chad's mom is in here chatting with us.
Mom.
Yeah. So somewhere in her possession, there's a picture of a young Chad with a mullet. So, that exists.
Man.
So we got to figure out how to see that. So,
all right. All right.
He's changing
mother,
the subject.
So, mommy dearest, if you ever share that picture, you will be banned from every Catfish on Ice episode for the rest of the season.
Because I will make sure it is seen by everybody on the entirety of the Twitter.
There is a picture of me with a mullet somewhere out there, but
that's funny.
Let's keep that locked away somewhere.
Real quick, Whit's hopping off here, so we just want to thank them for coming on and for all the cool comments.
Thank you so much, Whit. Thank you so much, Whit. Whit brought the heat tonight.
Tons of stuff.
So much good information. Really, really put some good stuff out there for us. So thank you, Whit, for joining the watch along tonight. Come back and see us again for the next one.
Yep. Oh, chat. Eileen Minton. Tempting. So I don't know if you know, but Kyle is like a meme wizard. So if he got that picture of Chad,
no,
Kyle could come up with something stellar. So,
Rich, why are you giving ideas
all
here?
I'm going to say is Billy Ray Minton.
What did I do to deserve this?
It's all with love.
Get back to the game?
It's all with
back
love.
to the game.
We're in crunch time here, and all we can talk about is my mullet. I'm pretty sure people want to talk about the Preds and not my mullet.
Gosh. Just love it.
All right.
Love it. Anyway.
I don't know. I got to make sure that I do nothing to make my mom mad because she will totally do that. All right.
Back to the game.
Crunch time. It's crunch time here. Under 7 minutes left. The Ducks, they're coming back. They're not backing down at all right now.
No.
The Ducks the Ducks have impressed me tonight. Both teams have
the real
impressed
deal.
me, honestly. Both teams have actually played. This hasn't been one of those games where I think both teams just played horribly and someone has to win type of thing. I actually think both teams have played a pretty strong competitive game. And so the Ducks, I come away impressed so far. They've played a good game.
Yep.
Yeah, they've. How do you guys feel about potentially both of these goalies being their country's goalies in the Olympics?
Definitely would.
Definitely John Gibson. Yeah. Definitely both of them. Yeah.
Who would you put in front of Saros from Finland right now?
I don't even
know any of them.
I mean, you have Tuukka Rask, but he's out. So
He's not. He's like not even under contract.
Yeah, I don't think so
right now. No, like he goes and practices at the facility, but they let him play at the facility, but he's not under contract. So I don't think it would be. But
now that you mentioned that, Kyle, we're very, very high probability that we're watching two goaltenders who are going to be representing their countries in the Olympics. True. So that's really, really cool observation. Yeah,
here's the answer right here from Mike Twitter.
Pecorine.
Yes.
Well, and this was from October 7th, and they're still saying Tuukka Rask, Eunice Korpisalo, and UC Saros. Eunice Korpisalo is a backup in Columbus.
I forgot about Korpisalo. Yeah, I forgot about Korpisalo.
Definitely Saros out of those.
Let's see. Lindsay says Markstrom is a lock for Sweden right now. Markstrom, yeah. How about the Flames? Yeah. We brought this up earlier. The Flames have 7 shutouts as a team right now. That's insane.
They're on one.
Somebody showed. I think it was shutouts. Like they've had the quickest or the most shutouts.
Yeah. It was like 7 shutouts.
They were showing teams. The other teams. There was like 5 teams. It was the Flames, and the rest of the teams were from like the 1920s, like 28, 27, whoever. Yeah.
To have 7 shutouts this early in the season, in this day and age in hockey, where it's a much higher scoring type of game, it blows my mind. Yeah, the Flames, I mean, I still think the Ducks are a more surprising team because I feel like the Flames had higher expectations in the preseason. They're not like a terrible team, but the Flames have definitely shown that, hey, they should be considered one of the big boys in the West. Like, they're up there.
Yep,
they're
all right.
Come on, Yossi.
Yeah, so Yossi's in the box here. It's looking like the Ducks power play, which is 4th in the league coming into tonight. They're going to get another chance here. So
I think he stopped a breakaway. So
it could be another situation where it was a necessary penalty. Sometimes you have to take them, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's what it looked like anyway. We want to see an Ekholm goal to finish this out. That would make the night.
Oh, man. You want to talk about a player who's been a disappointment? I hate to say that, but Matthias Ekholm has not had a great year at all.
It's such a bummer, man. Like, he gets the contract or whatnot and then played, he's always plays well. And then just this year, he is just struggling.
And I want to give credit to another person, Matt Hardesty, who's in our chat, our private chat. You want to talk about someone who's been beating the drum on Matthias Ekholm for a long time. I got to give him a lot of credit because he is the world's biggest critic of Matthias Ekholm, and he looks pretty smart on it right now because it's been a rough year for Eki.
Absolutely.
So listen to this stat line that Trenton has tonight. He's got 1 goal, 1 assist for 2 points. Plus minus, I know people hate that stat, but he's a +2 on there. He's got 4 shots on goal, 3 hits, 1 block shot, 1 takeaway, and 13 and a half minutes of ice time. I think that's the definition of efficiency.
And a lot of that happened on his goal. Lindsay says, can Mangiapane make the Canadian Olympic team? I would, probably. I would say so.
I feel like sometimes we don't give Trenton enough. And I would have said this even before tonight's game. Sometimes we forget about Trenton because he is in the bottom 6 or whatever. And I think sometimes we just think of Trenton as this rough-nosed guy that loves to fight, but the guy is really rounding out his game. I don't know if you agree, Kyle, but I feel like he's really rounded out his game.
When you look at Trenton, when he was on the Admirals and even when he was over in Russia, he was not a bruiser. That wasn't his game at all. He developed that when he came over here. He was a goal scorer. That was his thing, is he scored goals. So he's definitely changed a lot. Now he's adding some more of that scoring touch back in. I think he worked a lot on agility over the summer, and I think that's what's really helping him out this year as compared to years in the past. Just for the simple fact he's able to move around better.
Yeah.
He goes to Russia and trains, and that's probably harder than any training anywhere.
Yeah. Also, looking at currently active Finnish goaltenders, Saros has the highest save percentage with a 920, and Antti Ranta is next with a 919, and then Mika Koskinen is third with a 907. So,
Yeah, we should go ahead and put Saros in as the Finnish representative, I would think. Be totally surprised if that doesn't happen. All right, so the Ducks have their power play opportunity. They're getting zone time. The Preds are kind of hanging on for dear life right now. I'm just gonna. They're looking for that perfect shot on the power play, but they've got it. They've got possession. Preds are having trouble clearing.
It's coming down, boys.
I mean, you figure out a way to kill this penalty off, and suddenly the Ducks are going to have to pull their goaltender pretty soon.
Yep, big save by Saros.
Oh wow! I'm pretty sure the Ducks just hit the post.
Good.
I think the Ducks
Viva
hit the
la
post.
post.
Viva la post.
I felt like that was. Well, we'll have to see the replay here, but
I'm waiting for
it looked like
it
it did. Ensuing scrum in front of Saros after it. They're showing a replay here. Let's see. Really good setup. Yep, that hit the post. Troy Terry, your point leader.
I'm
got
just
that
now
shot.
getting to where it hit the post.
Oh, I just saw it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was Troy Terry. That's their point leader.
He's got the puck covered. Get off him. Gosh, man, I hate that.
Well, you got guys like Benning and all them sticking up for him. So,
I love Matt Benning.
Them to do.
I do too. We were talking about him earlier. Yeah.
Benning plays his role perfectly. He knows his role. He knows what he's there to do, and he does it.
You want to talk about the Predator way? You want to talk about blue collar hockey? Matt Benning is the essence of blue collar hockey. He goes out there. He's nothing flashy. He just works and works and works and works.
He reminds me of another player that the Preds used to have in their bottom defensive pairing, and that was Potato. Anthony Potato was a very poor man's third pairing defenseman that used to play that way. Oh my gosh, how in the hell is Saros doing this? Saros is trying to put the team on his back right now and carrying them across the finish line. That's literally what Saros is doing right now.
Good.
What, Kyle, you're about to see this. Reactionary save Saros just made. He spit out the rebound, unfortunately, but he still got the glove on it. So,
it's getting.
Oh Lord.
Let's see. According to
Lord.
Oh boy. Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, y'all see it now. You're catching up to me. According to the Bally Sports South broadcast, Saros now has 12 saves already in this third period. So.
Yeah,
the Ducks are the Ducks are closing in on the shot totals here. It's 34-30.
And he lost his stick as well. If you notice at the end of that play.
he was trying to pick it up and then caught the puck. That was awesome. Wide open shot though. I don't like that.
Ducks are going to be pulling their goaltender here pretty soon.
I'm kind of surprised they haven't.
Let's see. So Lindsay gets in on here on that play. Thank you, post, and then she says juice, juice, juice.
Yes.
And then I don't know what you call that emoji she just shared. I don't know what it's called, but it looks like a really shocked emoji. I don't know.
With a
I'm not up on my emoji vocabulary, so I don't know what you would call that emoji. But let's see. Mike Twitter, Preds not giving them a chance at the goaltender pulling right now. He's off the ice now.
What is that?
Oh, those are mind blown.
Oh, gotcha.
Mind blown. Okay, that's the name of the emoji. Okay. Well, that's a really good emoji to use in that scenario because, all right, just under 2 minutes left in regulation, and the Ducks have pulled their goaltender.
I really want to see a Tolvin or a Tomasino empty net goal to end this game. That would be amazing.
unless you pay attention to my facial expression, I'm not going to give away what happens to my co-hosts since they're so far behind. But
Awesome.
you look at my facial expression, I can't hide that.
Yeah.
Well, your face is frozen on my screen, so it's all good.
Well, that's not good. All right.
All right, boys. Close this out. Man.
I like the defensive structure. They're still giving Saros room to see the puck, but they're still getting good pressure on the man. So,
come on. All right.
Was that a block?
Bridgestone Arena crowd's on their feet right now. Like they're willing the team to victory. They're trying to anyway.
I thought you just gave something away.
No, I would never do that. We're under a minute left in the game now.
I'm not even looking at the comments. I'm not looking at the comments because somebody's going
to. Well, Mike Twitch says so intense, and I wholeheartedly agree. It's very intense. This is why we love hockey right here. It's for these moments.
That was quite the slap shot. Knock it in on accident. Too funny. How many seconds did you show, Kyle?
They're showing the replay right now.
Okay, yeah, I think we're on.
These all right, so it looks like the
Ducks
blocked
that Joker.
Yeah, that was a hell of a block by Yossi. All right, so we got a timeout. The Ducks have called a timeout. You see Dan Hanote, assistant coach for the Predators, who I love him. I love Dan Hanote.
I do too.
He
has a lot of
energy. He's
the
energy guy.
Yeah,
he deserves so much credit for how this team plays and how they play for each other. I feel like the Preds locker room hasn't been this united in a long time.
Yep.
Like I love that.
So the coach is drawing up a play for Anaheim. He's telling one of the guys to get his lasso out. He's going to lasso one of the Predators. Like on the
All right.
That's a Mighty Ducks. Is that a 2 or 3? I don't remember, Kyle.
That is 2.
2, yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. Or they're going to go with the flying V. I've already said the flying V once tonight, so
all right.
It's not as good, but
we've got Getzlaf versus Sissons in the face-off circle. This is a huge face-off. Getzlaf wins the face-off. Boo.
Boo.
I mean, he's hard to beat. He's been one of the best face-off guys in the league forever.
They just flashed his numbers. He's got 16 face-off wins tonight. That's pretty damn good. All right.
Saros.
Time ticking away. Whenever you're the team that's winning and they empty the net, does it not feel like the longest 2 minutes of your life?
Absolutely, it does.
I mean, it's just
that and the last 10 seconds when they're trying to kill a power play.
Yeah,
that's the worst for me. I'm like,
I don't know which. I think this is worse though. This is more nerve-wracking.
Oh, it is. Yeah, this part is, but I'm just saying I don't like that either.
All right, Saros has just been. He has really lived up to his franchise goaltender status in this third period. I mean,
so random fact: did y'all see Saros's tattoo he got of his dog?
No,
no.
It's freaking.
I love
awesome.
it though. That's great.
She's on the
cool.
His dog's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I think her name's Kisa or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yep.
It's like Finnish for summer or something like that.
Yeah.
I love the Preds official dog Banner.
Oh, he's cool too.
Yeah.
And I love the tongue in cheekness of the name.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. Whenever you can. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and give it away. The Preds have won.
Yes, boys.
I'll take it.
Big time clutch win.
Huge.
Hold on. False alarm here. The clock reads 0, but the players aren't leaving the ice. Now, full disclosure, I am not listening to the broadcast right now.
Yeah,
I've got the broadcast on mute.
Yeah.
But something's going on here. Something weird's going on. The Preds bench looks angry. Ekholm is arguing about something. I don't know exactly what's going on here because I'm not listening to the sound. But they have not there's 1 second left. They put 1 second back on the clock.
For what? Okay.
I don't know.
Not showing.
The face-offs. Let's see where the face-off's at. 1 second's enough time to score if the face-off is
straight in. Yeah.
I mean, it's very unlikely, but still, it's not impossible.
Well, yeah, it's not impossible.
And now it's fine.
Awesome. Mike Twitter said puck went into the netting.
Okay.
All right.
That has been episode 82 of Catfish on Ice, our watch-along. The Preds win 3-2. They just beat the hottest team in the NHL, one of the hottest teams, I guess you could say.
Yes.
Definitely up there. And they get a big win against a Western Conference rival. Let's look at this. Let's look at the standings going into tonight. I'm pretty sure the Ducks were right there with the Preds as far as standings-wise. Yeah, so the Preds now have 21 points on the season. They get their 10th win of the season. They send the Ducks to their 6th regulation loss of the season. The Ducks now have 23 points on the season. The Preds have 21 points. And the Preds also temporarily jump ahead of the St. Louis Blues in the Central Division.
Absolutely.
So there you have it with that.
We'll take that.
Kyle, give me your overall thoughts about how that period wrapped up real quick as we end at 82.
They did something that they very rarely do, and that's play with the lead.
Yes.
They normally don't do that well. They normally get to gripping the stick a little too tight and just they make bad mistakes, take a lot of penalties. They just settled in, played good defensive hockey. UC did make a lot of good saves, but they also were letting him see the puck. And if your goalie can see the puck coming from 15 yards away, he's probably going to stop it.
Yeah. Agreed.
Very true.
I think
Rich, give me your final thoughts.
Just a huge, massive win after the big dumpster fire in Montreal. They came out and did what they had to do. Saros looked good still. I mean, obviously some are going to go in, but just it was a big win against a really tough team. So,
and what did I say when this game first started in the pregame? Good teams turn the page quickly after a really bad game. Bad games are going to happen in an 82-game season. It's part of it. But
absolutely.
The Preds showed tonight against a really, really good Ducks team that they can wipe away a really bad game and focus and play their style. And it's a really, really positive sign and a growing moment for the Preds. And I have a lot of confidence, growing confidence in this team when I see them do what they did tonight against a very respected and good Ducks team. So great, outstanding game. This has been a really fun watch along. We can't thank all of our listeners who got in on the chat. Y'all were awesome. Y'all really made the episode as great as it was. It's all thanks to you. We can't thank you enough. We've got our contest giveaway running until Friday. So stay tuned for that. We'll draw a winner to get the Colton Sissons autograph book and a $25 gift card to Nashville Locker Room. So stay tuned for the winner on that. We will also a schedule update. Thanksgiving week. We will not be recording another episode until after Thanksgiving. First of all, we hope everyone has an outstanding and awesome Thanksgiving with their families. We will definitely see you after the game on Wednesday and talk about the game. But our next episode will be Friday after the New Jersey Devils game. Stay tuned for that. A little bit of a change in schedule. We're not recording our new episode on Thursday this week so that everyone can enjoy their families and enjoy Thanksgiving. So we will see you then. Again, this has been episode 82 of Catfish on Ice Watch Along for the Nashville Predators versus the Anaheim Ducks with Chad Minton, Rich Howe, and Kyle Perkins. present DraftKings. Thank you so much. We will see you later this week after Thanksgiving. Everyone have a very happy Thanksgiving this week.